Hello everyone, and welcome back to my daily Monster Hunter World live stream. It's usually daily, sometimes I take the weekends off. How is it going, everyone? It is another lovely day in the neighborhood. Coronavirus is abound, and I get to chill at home and play video games, so it doesn't entirely affect me. Although I noticed, this is kind of interesting, my ad revenue fell on pretty much all my videos. I wonder if that's related to the economy. Ooh, very interesting. How is it going? We're going to be harshly judging players' builds, and I don't mean like, oh yeah, you should change. No, I mean like harshly judging. All of your builds are bad, only my builds are good. And if you don't triple cart, it means you're not a mega chad. So let's go ahead and get started. We are on the PlayStation 4. Maybe we'll do this for the Xbox and for the, I almost said Nintendo Switch, the PC. Poor Nintendo did not get Monster Hunter. Can you believe that? Maybe the next gen. Did you know they released the next gen info for PS5 and Xbox Series X so we can actually compare them? They're looking pretty souped up. I'll probably be buying one in November, and I hope you guys do too. Look at all these people. Let's see how many people joined actually. Oh, okay. So we got 11 out of 16 people. The online session ID is in the upper right-hand corner, and the whole purpose of today's live stream is really exactly what the title says. I will just be looking at your builds, and we'll be talking about builds and maybe showing off builds that are used for different purposes, and we'll see who has the best one and who has the absolute worst one. But also maybe we'll give out a little bit of advice, you know, like what I would change or what I would keep the same, right? How is it going, one? Did I say one? How is it going, everyone? Ivan says, let's go. Are the sets going to be judged on overall monsters or a specific one? All the builds will be judged harshly. While Among Us says, everyone except one dude has a good build. Where do we submit our builds? You do not submit the builds. You have to make it into the session, and then your build gets judged. Have y'all seen the dual fish blades? OP dual blade. Yeah, I've seen those. We're going to, for those of you who didn't know this, a little bit of information. We are going to be getting another developer diary on the 21st. I think it was the 21st, right? So very soon. PC should be getting Safi Poopy on the 19th. And then finally, we should be getting Raging Brachydios, Furious Raging on the 23rd, if I remember all the dates right. I'm terrible with dates, by the way. I forget them instantly. Lust says, bring judgment upon my booty. Headhammer says, people just hit their pots in my neighborhood every day at 2100 because coronavirus. What? Hit their pots? Walmanga says, let's do Ruin and Gigante. Shake my head. I tell you what, let's see what we have available. Obviously, Safajiva's here, but if I played Safajiva one more time, I'll probably have to pull my own eyeballs out because I'm so tired of fighting Safajiva. Let's take a look. We have nothing to do in special assignments. Lord of the Underworld. Yep, Ode to Destruction's here, so we could definitely play this. It's a good place to test ourselves. Oh, those are our investigations. Optionals. Looks like I don't have all my optionals done. How about this? That's it, just special arena. So we'll probably work on my optionals. Alright, and everything else is done. Okay, so Safajiva is here, but no, we're not going to be touching Safi Poopy, because I will literally have to finish myself off if we did. Been a while since I've been back here. How's it going, Mystery Channel? Bum of the Night says, rate my build. Oh, wait, I play on Xbox. Let's start rating the builds. Are you guys prepared? Are you guys prepared to rate the builds? Here, let me get some different music going. We need some rate the builds music. How about Spear Justice? Oh, it's just too excited. Spear Justice is too hyped. Alright, this Undertale music is good, but it's almost too good. It's like too nice. Let's judge the builds. Are you ready? Starting with Lord Durfruffen. Are you guys ready to make fun of Lord Durfruffen? Inspect equipment. He's got the Hellsire blade. That is not a Safi Poopy blade. Hello. Looks like he's going to be having the elemental build with the charge blade here. So this is a fire damage setup with 500 fire damage and power elemental file. He's got the 4 pieces of the silver Rathalos setup because he's giving you true critical element. That is the point of that. He's using the blaze charm. I thought I heard that using the charms for the elemental is not as good as using those level 4 decorations that give you, what does it give you 2 levels? I can't remember what it gives you. Yeah, it gives you 2 levels of it, I believe. Vitality Mantle and Temporal Mantle. What's his level? Master Rank 160. Fire Attack 6. Crit Eye 6. Wow, not Crit Eye 7. Blech. Slinger Capacity, Health Boost, Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit, Focus, Windproof, Capacity Boost. think everything's here, basically. No guard. Did he have guard? No level 1 guard. All right, so that is Lord Derfurfen. I give him a 1 out of 10. How about Tanzania? Now, his master rank is 537, so he really ought to have most things. Safi Shatterblade, that's what I'm talking about. He's got an attack increase VV, I shouldn't say V, 5565, and a Teostra's technique. Notice he did not take purple sharpness. I think that's because when you're putting together raw damage builds, it's questionable what's more useful, the purple sharpness, or in this case, he decided to go with Teostra's technique. Now the question is, why did he do that? Let's find out. So we got crit die 7, agitator, attack boost 5, health boost, blast attack 3, crit boost, weakness exploit, divine blessing, speed sharpening, heat guard, latent power, part breaker, and for the set bonus skills, we have master's touch. Am I missing something? He's only got the golden loon coil. So he's got the golden loon coil because he's packing that divine blessing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so the loon coil is giving you the divine blessing. And so what he's effectively done is moved one level of Teostra's technique over to pick up the divine blessing. It makes me wonder, if you're going to go that far, why not pick up divine blessing secret, actually? I mean, if you're going to pick up divine blessing and you're going to be wearing one piece of Lunastra armor, not Lunastra armor, Gold Raytheon armor, it's confusing because it's called the Loon Coil. If you're going to be wearing one piece of it, you might as well have just gone for, well, yeah, I have to think about it. I don't know how I feel about that one. It's definitely a mixed defense-offense build, which is often what I go with. You're so close to having Divine Blessing Secret, and it's so ridiculously overpowered. I would have tried to finish it. Okay, here we go. We have Tetro, Master Rank 240. With the Adept Stormslinger. So I'm actually going to skip over this one, sadly for him. He can bring out a different build if he wants, but the PC and the Xbox do not have Adept Stormslinger, so I don't give two poopies about it. Manuel with the hammer. By the way, what was Manuel's master rank? 441. Hot. He's got the Safi's Venom Crusher. Heck yeah. So one of the things that I think is currently being undervalued right now are the poison damage Safi'jiiva weapons. And it was something I had been planning to make a video about, but of course I haven't because I'm always busy. I'm always busy. So I was going to make a video about the poison weapons for Safi'jiiva. I think they're real legit because you're going to have monsters who, they don't take any blast. And in that case, you're better off, especially for raw damage weapons like this hammer, you're better off taking poison Safi'jiiva weapons. See what I'm saying? So he has also taken Teostra's technique. And I think in this case it makes a little more sense because with Teostra's technique, you can drop the coil once again. Well, the coil was nice with the blast weapons because it was adding blast attack onto your setups. So the bigger question though is, well, we'll have to see. Let's see. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the build. So we got Kaiser Crown, Golden Loon Mail. See, that's pretty solid. The other guy could have given up the chest. He had the Rex chest. That would be the Brute Tigrix chest. And he was doing that to bring attack boost. But the thing is, you don't really have to have that attack boost. It adds damage, it does. It just doesn't add like a crazy amount of damage. Whereas the Divine Blessing Secret would have added a crazy amount of defense. So personally, I would have done something more like this. The Golden Loon Mail, Golden Loon Coil. Here's Kaiser Van Braces. Here's what I'm noticing on this build. He's got the Garuga Greave still too. He's got the Golden Loon Coil and the Golden Loon Mail. This I think is more closer to what I would have done. So we had, who was it? Was it Tanzanian? I think it was Tanzania. He was the one who had the other build, right? Yeah, so he has Rex Roar Mail here for the attack boost. And that's nice. But it's like, if you're already going to go for 3 levels of Divine Blessing, you might as well go all the way, in my opinion. Okay, so let's see if he has it. The reason he has 2 levels of sharpness down there is because he has Master's Touch, actually. You should re-roll it, man. So you should re-roll your Awakened abilities and pick up either 2 more attack increases or at least 1 more attack increase. But he's got that that small sliver of purple sharpness. And personally, I do not think it actually adds that much damage to your output. I think that 2 more levels of attack increase would actually add more. So I would rather go attack 5 and attack 6 rather than sharpness just to get the purple, see what I'm saying? Just to get a tiny sliver of purple sharpness, personally. Not bad, actually. This looks more like something I would probably put together. Look at that. He went for Slugger as well. Why do we get the Slugger? You can drop the Slugger. I would probably go with, rather than Slugger... Oh, but how's he doing in the Slugger? I bet he's using... Oh, he's using Health Boost Slugger. So that's what he's doing. His giant decoration is Health Boost Slugger. Also, he does have 1 level of Flinch Free. That's good. He does have Airborne. That's good. I would probably drop the Slugger for Part Break if you're doing Safajiva, obviously, but you're not. I don't like the Slugger. He might not have all of the options. He could probably trade that out with something else, but I wouldn't know what. That is probably the only complaint I have. Slugger on the hammers, as tempting as it is, it actually, in my opinion, is not that useful. But everything else about the build looked really good, actually. So Manuel gets a pass. Good job, Manuel. Here's, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Trio. And his master rank is 458, so he should have a lot of stuff. Let's inspect his equipment. Crimson Kadashi Lion 2. Remember back when Baleful Knight was the go-to Pierce ammo, but then we discovered with augments, Crimson Kadashi would actually probably slightly outperform it. He's got Safajiva Crested Crown, Golden Haori. What is this? Golden Haori. What set is that even from? And Golden Obi. What? Oh, it's the Ray Jang armor. Is that really? I never use it. Resentment and Weakness Exploit. Oh, cool. Okay, so what's going on here? This is great. This is a terrific build, actually. I like this. So we've got the Safajiva. 3 parts of this set are giving him the Dragon Vein Awakening, right? And as you know, this activates Resentment, which gives you a damage bonus. And then he's pairing that with this chest piece, which is efficient for building Resentment. But also, if he takes 2 pieces of this armor set, he's picking up Mind's Eye Ballistic, which is nice for the... It's not like you don't really have to have it, but it is a nice little bonus. So he's got Mind's Eye Ballistics, and he's got an efficient build for Resentment. How about this? How's this looking? Evade window. Yeah, it's pretty... The arms have always been decent. And Crit Boost. Yeah, I like this. I like this. Breaker Charm. Who's he using this on? Breaker Charm. He's not using that on Safajiva, is he? I don't know if I'd use it on Safajiva. Part Breaker, Pierce Shots, Evade Window, Geologist. Guard Up. What did he do? He went with Power Barrel. The reason he goes with Power Barrel is because it actually slows down the bullet, which gives the bullet more chances to proc inside of the monster's body, which is why the mod tells you that it does more damage for Pierce. Recoil, Recoil, Close Range, Shield, Power Barrel. Not bad, not bad. Fireproof. He must be fighting something that deals fire. And the Part Break appears to be... Is it in here? That looks like it's in there. Weird. I like it. I like it. I like it very much. Let's see what the comment section is saying so far. So, Dr. Xavier says, I just found out that Unity tickets can upgrade all the old weapons like Witcher Swords and Gaybog, and now I feel left out. Bailey says, do you think we're getting cross-platform? Nope. Cosmic says, what if I want you to see both my builds? I will do that for $1,000. CJT says, LMAO, that title. Marco says, hello, GE. How is Safajiva Wide Shelling Gunlance? I do not play with the Wide Shelling Gunlance because I'm an intellectual, so I have no idea. Two-Dimensional says, so probably shouldn't use my Safi Poopy set. Necromancer says, how does this work? If you're in the session, I will harshly judge your build. That's how it works. Dr. Xavier says, I can't join. Should I just say me build? Should I just say me build? Cosmic says, who wants to see my latent power sword and shield build? And Christian Hoy says, haven't been watching recently, but I saw the title and had to come to leave a like. Thank you very much, Christian. Leroy says, no bow users? Alright, so I liked this updated Pierce build for the Safajiva armor set, which is something I've not played around with myself because I haven't had to, but it looked good. Good job, Trio. Let's take a look at Claire with the Master Rank 511. Claire is the third highest Master Rank in this session, although I haven't updated the session yet. There's probably more people in here. Spec equipment. This is going to be Safajiva's Shatter Axe. You'll notice that, in this case, Claire has gone for all attack increase. And I think that's probably what you would do. I don't think you would worry so much about the purple sharpness. I really don't think you would. Maybe on the Greatsword, because the Greatsword, I feel like the Greatsword's is harder to lose that purple sharpness on the Greatsword. But the hammer, the Switch Axe, I think you lose it too fast. So I like that. I like all the attack increase. Also, you notice this time no Teostra's technique, because what's going to be happening here, Safajiva's Shatter Axe is a blast weapon. And what Claire's gone for is something a lot of people already go for, and it's going to be the... Oh, look at that. He's doing something I've seen speedrunners do. This is the Kaiser Crown Gamma from the base game, combined with the new Master Rank armor pieces. Did you know you could do that? Yeah, so I saw some speedrunners messing with that. It will lower your defense, though. So the Kaiser Van Braces Beta and the Kaiser Coil Beta is here, and this is not just giving Master's Touch, but you're also picking up the 2 levels of Blast Attack, kind of for free. I mean, it does increase your damage output a little bit, so it's worth thinking about, right? When you pick up, let's say, the Luna chest, the Loon Coil and the... What is it called? Is it the Loon chest? That would be the Gold Raytheon chest piece. When you do that, you lose attack boost, but you do pick up the defense coil, but you also lose the blast attack. So what's interesting is that if you're going to be doing that, it's not as useful on a blast setup, is it? Here's the Challenger Charm. I want to say, if he had better agitator decorations, I'm not sure if he would do that. I'm trying to remember if there's a better charm than the... Oh, you know, I need to do an analysis of the most efficient charms. We have Evasion Mantle, very good, and Rocksteady Mantle. No Impact Mantle? This build looks like it's so meta. You would think that this would be the Impact Mantle here, but it is the Rocksteady Mantle, and that's okay. Let's take a look at the build. Yeah, this is more on the side of a meta build here. You can see he didn't bother finishing health boost, although he probably could have just dropped it entirely and put more points into attack boost, if I had to guess. So this is very close to a meta build. Master's Touch. That's what you would put together if you wanted to do only damage and not really worry so much about dying. You see a lot of speedrunners use builds like that. Boonga! Boonga at Master Rank 141. Let's see what he's packing. You ready to judge? Safajiva, Shatterblade. And we see a very similar pattern here. Kaiser Crown Gamma, Rex Roar Mail Beta, Kaiser Van Braces Beta, Kaiser Coil Beta, Garuga Greaves Beta, the Challenger Charm once again, Evasion Mantle, and this time, rather than Rocksteady, we have Temporal. I think I actually prefer that, just because, for 2 reasons. The Temporal Mantle, I feel that it saved you more often than the Rocksteady. The Rocksteady can actually be risky. The other thing about the Temporal Mantle is it comes back faster. So if you had to do Evasion Mantle and then 1 Defensive Mantle, I think I would pick Temporal first and the Rocksteady second. But really, if you were going to go all the way for having a speedrunner style build, you would put Impact Mantle here. You would not have Evasion Mantle, or you would not have Temporal Mantle at all. So let's take a look at the decorations here. He's got attack boost all the way to level 6, crit eye, crit boost, weakness exploit. I thought agitator. Oh, agitator's right there. My eyes somehow skipped over it. All right, very good. Yep, those are both pretty serious builds right there. And you can see Boonga was able to put that together at Master Rank 140. Let's take a look at results. Let's see if these aren't all the same. Here's the Aqua Spear. So this is going to be for water damage. And you'll notice that there is a larger purple sharpness bar. And if I understand correctly, purple sharpness affects elemental damage output better than it affects raw damage output. So if you were putting together an elemental damage build, which you would with certain weapons, including perhaps the Insect Glaive, you would consider having more purple sharpness. The Awakened Ability, Kinsect bonus. You know, I've not even really messed around with that. It shows you there's 14 weapon classes, and there's still stuff to learn about the weapon classes post Iceborne, but he's gone with the Kinsect bonus Power/Spirit. And let's take a look at the armor piece choices. So Kaiser Crown Alpha, and this is for Master Rank. Kaiser Mail Beta. Huh. It's kind of strange. Shar Ishvalda Braces Alpha. So this is normally what you would expect to have for the Teostra armor set here. And then the Kaiser Coil is fine. And then the Garuga Greaves are fine. Wonder why he swapped these two. Maybe it was based on his decorations. So you'll notice Shar Ishvalda Braces is giving him 2 levels of crit boost in Coalescence. And Coalescence is decent for elemental builds. So maybe he's missing a crit boost decoration and this one gives him 2 levels in Coalescence anyways. Yeah, not sure about that one. And then the Handicraft Charm. Yeah, you can see he hasn't finished his Handicraft Charm either, so that would be good for him. Glider Mantle is another popular mantle amongst speedrunners because it gives you 2 giant decoration slots for 180 seconds, which is oftentimes a larger part of the duration of a speedrun. If you don't see them bringing Evade Mantle and the Impact Mantle, often it's the Glider Mantle. And there's the Temporal Mantle, although you'll notice his Glider Mantle still needs to be upgraded. He's got some optional quests to do, probably. Missing Crit Eye 7, can't really do anything about it, I'm guessing. I'm guessing this is sort of a decoration-restricted build. Free Element Ammo Up! Part Breaker, Airborne, Constitution, Coalescence. Yeah, this is definitely a setup where he's missing Weakness Exploit, for example. You see there's no Weakness Exploit on the build. No bueno. So, I'm guessing he's missing decorations. Rizal, I give you a -5 out of 10. You've got a -5 out of 10. You should probably take your game disc out of the tray, stomp on it, and never play this again. 2D is Master Rank 116. Let's take a look at his build. He's got the hammer. I love the hammer. Wait. Oh, he swapped builds? Is that what happened? I think he swapped builds. Oh, he's just trolling around. Oops. Where'd he go? Oh, no. Oh, no. It's all been mixed up. All right, well, I tell you what. We'll go through the names we don't recognize. We have Kyrosaur with the hammer once again. Let's take a look at his build. Safi's Drac Crusher. Oh, a dragon damage build. Interesting. I don't know why you would do a dragon damage build. Maybe what he's doing here is this is a setup he's chosen specifically for the Gold Wraithian. However, with the Gold Wraithian armor, there's this thing going on where you can actually go for poison damage because certain pieces of the Safi'jiiva armor set is really efficient for building poison attack. So I feel like he would be better off if this Safi's weapon was actually a poison damage weapon. Let me show you an example with the weapon I'm using, actually. So we were looking at Kyrosaur. We'll get back to him. But right here, you see that I have poison attack 2, and that's actually coming from the armor itself. You just go with the alpha version of the armor rather than the beta version of the armor. Let me show you. So this, I think it's this. Right here, health boost and poison attack for the alpha version of the Golden Loon Helm. So you're picking up poison attack, and you're also going after that, what's it called? Divine Blessing Seeker at the same time. All right, let's jump back. Oh, there we go. There we go. Kyrosaurus, we're going to go back to inspecting his equipment. Safi Crested Crown, Golden Loon Mail, Safi Crested Van Braces, Golden Loon Coil, and Safi Crested Boots. And then we have the defense charm, but it's an incomplete defense charm. You got to complete it. Defense boost, crit eye, divine blessing, health boost, crit boost, weakness exploit, handicraft 1. So I think he's got a sliver of purple sharpness. Is that what's going on? I don't know if that's worth it. I think this build's kind of all over the place. Slot upgrade. You would drop the slot upgrade for attack up. Or attack increase. There's no reason to have the slot upgrade. It's terrible. So this build gets a -27 out of 10. That's going to be for Kyrosaurus. You got some work to do, Kyrosaurus, on your build. Okay. Did we already look at Tanzania? I think we looked at Tanzania already. Let's jump down to Shaltair. He's the guy who's wanting me to look, right? Is that right? Am I not messing that up? I think he's the one who keeps... Yeah, Shaltair. Let's take a look at his build for fun. Oops. Hitting the wrong button. I'm not used to the PlayStation controller as much. I've gotten a lot better with it, though. Thomas Kwok, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that, man. Okay, here we go. Shaltair. Defender Katana. Oh, damn. What level is he? Master rank. Okay, he's just goofing. Since the session's not full yet, we'll keep him in for now if he wants to show off a legit build. Let's see who else. Lord Durfrefen Kyrosaur Tanzania swapped over to the Hunting Horn. Let's take a look at that as well. Safi's Shatterhorn with Tigrex Essence. Oh, this is going to probably be a wide range build if I had to guess. Attack Melody 3. That makes sense. Sharpness increase. Probably because he's not running Master's Touch is the reason for the sharpness increase. Attack increase and attack increase. Let's see. Attack boost 7. Okay, so the reason he's gone for the attack boost 7 and maybe the peak performance there is because he's not doing the crit boost, crit eye, weakness exploit, synergy. Those all work together to get your damage up. And if you weren't going to build the crit boost and the high affinity, then you would probably just go straight to dealing more damage with attack boost, peak performance, resentment, and agitator. But let's see. So he has attack boost wide range, tool specialist 5. And so what he's getting is a little bit of synergy from the Lunastra armor set. See, I hate the fact that the Gold Raytheon's armor set has Loon in the name. It's so freaking confusing. But you can see he's wearing the actual Lunastra set here for the Tool Specialist Secret. I don't know how I feel about it. He's picked up Glider Mantle, which you don't really need help with Glider Mantle. It comes back in 2 minutes, and it lasts for 180 seconds. So you would just use Temporal Mantle, and then it would start recharging. And then you would put on your Glider Mantle anyways at that point. And by the time the Glider Mantle is done being used, you know, your Temporal Mantle is already very close to coming back at that point. So I don't really feel that Tool Specialist Secret is contributing that much. Even though it is efficient for building wide range, I think you could actually go for a crit boost setup where you have wide range on the charm rather than attack charm. You would just have wide range on the charm. I do think it's fun that you got free meal and speed eating together, but I was definitely putting a wide range build together for fighting Safajiva that I think would outdamage this. Also, funny enough, I think that the Hunting Horn is not the best choice for a wide range build because you have to build Horn Maestro, which takes up some extra slots. And the funny thing is, when you're trying to put together a speed eating free meal setup, you have such a limited amount of extra slots at the end because free meal is 3 levels and speed eating is 3 levels. So funny enough, Horn Maestro almost doesn't fit on. Well, I would say it really doesn't fit on. You have to give up something valuable in the end. So, I don't know. I think that I'm tempted to say that you would just have an altogether better build just running Hammer. You will outdamage Safi's Shatterhorn anyways, and you can still give out all the same wide range buffs, although you would lose the Hunting Horn attack boost buff. So that's the trade-off, but then, you know, it's just a question of how well do you play with the Hammer. Like, do you compensate for not giving out the attack boost buff to your teammates? So that one, I'm going to have to say pass on that one. I don't know if I would use that one. Tetro. Have we already looked at Tetro? Safi's Aqua Shot. And this is definitely going to be a sticky ammo build from the looks of it. He's got the 2 pieces of the Nargacuga set, and you'll notice as well that he's picking up. There we go. Oh god, these buttons. There we go. He's picking up the Nargacuga Essence to give him, what do they call that? Spare Shot Secret? No, True Spare Shot. There we go. He's picking up the Nargacuga Essence and the 2 other levels of Nargacuga armor to give himself True Spare Shot. This is the common sticky ammo setup for the Safi's Aqua Shot. This is a recommended build, and it's so ridiculous. This is like a cheese build, basically. It's so easy and good. So you can see True Razor Sharp / Spare Shot. Artillery Secret's also on the build because of the 3 levels of the Zora armor. And after that, you can just do basically what you want, but you can see what he's gone for is he is optimizing the setup for damage on the sticky ammo by picking up the attack boost and the peak performance and the agitator. So he's focusing on damage. He's also got all the attacking increase down there. Not like there's much else to build on it. He's gone with the evade reload as well, which allows him to reload the weapon by evading, but then he can also then drop the free element ammo up skill that you might have otherwise taken. Oh wait, he does have free element ammo up. Oh, you have to have it because Right. I'm confusing that with an older light bowgun. So he has to take free element ammo up either way to have 2 shots rather than 1. What else? Flinch free, pierce shots, evade window. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty standard. He even ate for Bombardier at the canteen, I noticed. Very good on that. Who haven't we seen? Claire Bunga Rizoles. 2D. Was 2D the guy trolling? Mark's Craft. Let's take a look at Mark's Craft. ShadowCon, let's take a look at the chat section actually in the live stream. So, what? No Safi farming? That's right, James Dice. Can you believe it? Safi's hella boring, man. You know, the one day I finish my work early, you stream on Piss Station and not Best Box. Darn you, GE. How will new people enter? You will want to join the online session. If there's people who are just kind of trolling with their builds, I'll give them a boot. Is Focus 3 on Greatsword really worth it? I would say you can build Focus 3 pretty easily. That's a great question, though, because you could be putting a different... A long time ago, I did actually frame testing on the damage output on the Greatsword, and yeah, Focus actually increased the damage quite a bit. So you wouldn't want to skip Focus, but if you had to, you could. All right, let's go ahead. Mark's Craft. Safi Shatterblade, and he's gone with the buff chest, and that's for Agitator Fortify. You know, I don't know if I've seen speedrunners picking up the buff chest. I really don't know. We have Kaiser Crown, Kaiser Vambraces, Kaiser Coil, and this is the blast weapon. Yeah, so all of this looks pretty standard. He's gone with the attack charm, Rocksteady and Temporal, and here's what the build looks like. So again, this is going to be a pretty standard looking build that you'll see a lot of. He could have put, well, he actually still managed attack boost and Agitator 5. Here's a question for you guys in the audience. What's better, buff chest or the Tigrex chest? He's not missing anything. Huh, maybe I'll play around with that myself. What's better, buff chest or the Tigrex, brute Tigrex chest? Alright, let's move on to the next build. So that's pretty standard damage build. Dr. Pepper, Master Rank 311. Alright, so for the Safi Shatter Axe, we see Blast once again. And for him, he decided to go with the slot upgrade. So I'm thinking he's doing this because he has some sort of wide range build or something like that. He also picked up the Teostra Technique, which is often a sign that you're trying to fit two set bonus skills together. Let's see, what does he have? He does not have Free Meal Secret. Okay, so I would have thought that he went for the Free Meal Secret. Rex War Braces, what is that giving you? Health boost, attack boost. I don't know if I agree with that, because you could have just put the Kaiser Vambraces there, and then you could have dropped the Teostra. You could have dropped Teostra Technique and gone for another attack increase on your actual, here it is, on your actual Safi Shatter Axe, and that just would have been better damage than attack boost right there. Pretty sure. Crit Eye Agitator, attack boost 4, health boost, recovery up. Yeah, you could put that on a build, I guess. I don't know if I would prioritize recovery up over divine protection. I don't think I would. Crit boost, weakness, exploit, blast attack, evade window, and evade extender, two skills that are almost necessary, it feels like, on the Switch Axe. Switch Axe really, it doesn't have a shield like the Charge Blade, but it suffers from like the medium movement and agility, if you want to call it that. So it's got the hops, and it doesn't really have the best movement speed when you've got it in the Axe mode. What else do we have? We've got Free Meal down there. It looks like this was supposed to be a Free Meal build. Look, he's missing Free Meal Secret, but he's got one level of Free Meal. I don't know. I'm going to have to come back to that, Dr. Pepper. Shalter. Did he change it to a serious build? Safi Bindfang. Here we go. So, what do we have here? He's gone with the sharpness increase, probably because he's not using Teostra. Nope, he's not using Teostra's Technique. So when it comes to awakened abilities, when people decide they're not going to bring Teostra Technique, often what you see is they throw on a sharpness increase, and that's not bad. But I'm actually going to go ahead and give this a negative 99 out of 10 right off the bat for being a paralysis melee weapon. Paralysis melee weapons are big, stinky doo-doo. Everyone's like, oh, what if I use a paralysis? No. The reason paralysis melee weapons are so stinky is because almost every fight where you actually need to have some level of skill to win the fight is critical that the paralysis and the sleep crowd controls are used at the correct time. So for example, when you're fighting Safajiva, if you paralyze them in stage 1, you're just wasting the paralysis. And what if a teammate dies and then you accidentally paralyze the monster? Well, then you're only getting 3-person damage. Compare that to getting perfect 4-person damage while your teammates are all close to the monster in stage 3 of the fight, right as he goes into the what do they call that? Critical state. So paralysis weapons and sleep weapons, huge stinky poo-poo. Maybe you could make an exception for the greatsword if you're bringing like a sleep greatsword and you're playing strictly by yourself, but that's some pretty strict requirements, right? Big stinky. Stygian Helm, we got latent power. So when it comes to latent power secret, I do not actually think it is a good skill. However, somebody mentioned to me recently that you can pair Stygian latent power secret with the Safajiva's Dragon Vein Awakening if you bring one level of awakening on your weapon for like either the Stygian skill or the Safajiva skill. And then what'll happen is as you damage yourself, this will activate latent power. This is not what he has done, so he is not having that. Attack boost, crit eye, latent power, weakness exploit, no crit boost. So crit eye and weakness exploit are actually not that powerful without crit boost. So your damage is actually pretty stinky here. You got to have crit boost for the crit eye and the weakness exploit to really have a large impact. They have kind of like an exponential impact when you throw the crit boost 3 in there. You could drop all the attack boost right now and all the agitator right now and improve the damage output of the build by just throwing on crit boost. So I would go for the crit boost, and then I would prioritize the agitator next. I don't know, that's a good question, which one's better. Well, I suppose since you're already getting a couple levels of attack boost from the Rex Aurora Male, I would bring that at least to 4 for the 5% affinity, but after that, I don't know if I'd... Well, you've already picked it up, so you should already have 5. So I just wouldn't finish attack boost. Yeah, the missing crit boost is a big deal here on this build. What level is he? He's level 236. You should have crit boost by now. Let's take a look at Spartan. Oh, by the way, this build at negative 99 out of 10. Spartan. This is fun. Safajiva Aqua Shot. Okay, this is the same one we already looked at. I think it's roughly the same one. So this is going to be very similar to the other one if it's not literally the same one. Okay, it is a different one, but here once again is the common sticky ammo build on the Safajiva Aqua Shot. PC players will be very interested in using this build. It's very strong. Also, let's go ahead and check the chat room. So, I'm a Halo guy says, does your wife like Undertale too? I noticed in all your videos. She actually was the one who played Undertale. I never played it, so she does like it. God Tier Boy says, still don't bring latent power with the Safajiva armor. Safajiva Awakening doesn't exist. Okay, thank you, Walamanga. I must have been being told that you would want to go for the latent power secret on the Awakening abilities then. But yeah, okay, so you're saying it's not good anyways. Indeed you can, and you can squeeze earplugs. Angel says, I'm Dr. Pepper, by the way. Also use free meal because I had the free slot, so why not? Cheesy Pizza says, attack post lol. Nick says, you could switch to sleep or paralysis melee towards the end of the fight if no one else does. That is true. I would say that's true, Nick. If nobody else, if there's no bow gunners who can use paralysis and sleep, sure, you can swap to the melee weapon. That's a good point. Can I join the online session, asks Patrick. That's a good question, Patrick. I use paranormal shell and gunless because it heavily benefits from the monster not being able to move. Yeah, maybe it benefits it if you're fighting a monster who sucks, but if you're fighting an actually challenging monster like Safajiva, you would never want to use that. You will want to have somebody with a bow gun doing the crowd controls. Wex is less points than latent power. Alice Bardes says, I put weakness exploit on my build, Rezol's instant glaive. The sleep and paralysis melee is alright for long gun lengths since you can't choose when to use them. Cal says, how long have you been on GE? I've been on for like a bazillion years. Let's do the next build. I'm Daves. I am D-Abes. Let's see. Is this the same one? So everyone's got the Safajiva Aqua Shot sticky ammo build. Let's go ahead and refresh that page. Here we go. Alright. So there is no room in the session. By the way, let's go to the Gathering Hub. This will be more fun in the Gathering Hub. How do you guys feel about today's live stream so far? It's interesting. I think it's been pretty educational. We ran into one build that I had not considered yet, and that was definitely the Pierce ammo build with Safajiva and what was the other armor set being used? I don't recall. Oh, right. It was... the Rajang armor, right? It was the chest and the coil. I liked that. Man, I need a drink of my super energy drink. That's what I need. We've seen a few bad builds too. And some builds that are trying an idea, but we're pretty confident it's not a good idea. Okay, let's see what else. What else? So what we can do is we can start going back through the list and see if anyone changed. So Lord Durfruffen. Endless Famine. That's going to be the Savage Devil Joe heavy bowgun, and it does not outperform other heavy bowguns, so there is no reason to be using this one, I'm pretty sure. And this is looking like a sticky ammo build because we see Slugger and Artillery. And overall, this build is going to be big stinky doo-doo. He's got the Rhyme Guard helm. Why is he building... I'm looking, what kind of ammo is he bringing? Offensive guard. Yeah, this build is all over the place. I don't really know his objective here with this build. I would say big stinky on that one, Lord Durfruffen. Tanzania. Yeah, if you guys want an early good sticky ammo build, just pick up the Shara Ishvalda heavy bowgun. That is great for an early sticky ammo build, the Shara Ishvalda bowgun. And then, later on, you can pick up the Reijang light bowgun or the Reijang heavy bowgun. And finally, you would swap over to the Magna Gamedis heavy bowgun from the... what's his name? I haven't said his name in a long time. Zora Magdaros weapon tree, which is right now, I think, the best heavy bowgun sticky ammo build right now. Tanzania's got the bow. Oh, sweet. I'm terrible with bows, so maybe you will teach me something here. He is master rank 537. He's got the Safajiva Frostbow. I guess my first question here would be, I thought that people keep telling me that the Beatotus weapons are still optimal for ice damage, and I don't have a way to look that up very quickly. I keep hearing that, though. I don't know if it's true, because I never play elemental builds, really. But let's see what he's got. He's got the Silver Rathalos Essence in the Awakened ability. This will allow him to drop one of the pieces of the Silver Rathalos armor set, which is nice because you used to be forced to take 4 levels of it, and now you will instead be able to take 3 levels of it because your weapon is the 4th level. And then he went all elemental up 5, and that makes perfect sense if you're trying to deal lots and lots of ice damage. Let's jump over here. We have Kurdai, attack 6, windproof, weakness exploit 3, constitution 3, huh? Okay. Is he getting that? No, he's not getting that from the charm. Constitution 3, slinger capacity, health boost 2, spread power shot 2. He prioritizes the power shot because the power shot does a lot more damage than normal shots. Because you'll notice he has normal shots 1, which is either a case where he just doesn't have 2 levels or 2 decorations for normal shots, or he's made a decision to focus actually on the spread shots. Crit boost 1. So maybe it's the case that the build doesn't have room for any more crit boost. Let me look. He's master rank 537. But he's only high rank 660. So it's a good question if he has the crit boost decorations or if this is just the best he could fit in, dependent on like the available slots. I will leave you guys to judge this one for me because I am not a bow expert. So I don't want to rate something I don't know too well. I would say there's an awful lot of raw damage on the weapon. Not a ton, but you can see the attack is 312, so a bow does actually benefit from being able to pick up crit boost 3, but I don't know what he could give up to build it if he didn't have any more room to build it, so maybe it's just a case that he ran out of room. Alright, let's go ahead and change the music. We've been playing the same music for like 30 minutes. How about... Ooh, I want some synthwave. That was okay. Let's try a different one. Change the music, guys. I don't know about either of those. Ooh, I'll listen to this. Ah, yes, piano. Piano's so beautiful. Max says you only need 1 crit boost for the bow. Oh, okay. LaRoe says no mighty bow jewel. Oh, I missed that. No mighty bow? Oh, I bet he doesn't have the decoration. I've heard that people are struggling to obtain the mighty bow decoration because it shares a loot pool with so many giant decorations, level 4 decorations now, that it's just harder to obtain. I was actually thinking about making a guide on obtaining the mighty bow decoration. What do you guys think? Would that be a useful guide? I've been thinking about that. You know, there's... I've made so many damn guides and tips and blah, 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 things you didn't know. It's like I'm running out of things to talk about, actually, with this game, because I put out videos, like, a few videos, I don't know, like, maybe 2 to 3 a week, and Capcom does not put out new things 2 to 3 times a week, so I struggle to come up with new ideas. I mean, I have a big list, it's just that I want something new and fresh, and there just aren't that many new, fresh things to work on. But yeah, okay, no mighty bow means that build gets a negative 1 bazillion out of 10. Absolutely trash. Probably should just never touch the bow, ever. Let's see, Manuel. Same build? Safi Venom Crusher? Yeah, same build. Again, I did actually like this build. I would drop the sharpness increase. I would drop both of those and turn them into an attack increase. Other than that, The Slugger also is not necessary, so I would probably drop the Slugger. And the Tool Specialist, you don't really have to have the Tool Specialist either, because once again, you've gone with Glider Mantle, which lasts longer, and you can drop that Rocksteady and turn it into Temporal if you want, and Temporal comes back faster anyways. But yeah, everything else on that build is kind of nice. Tree Owl, is he still using the Pierce build? He's still using the Pierce build. Again, I did like that one. Claire with Safia's Bolthorn. And this one is an elemental damage build. So this is interesting for me because I've been told you can build elemental builds with the hunting horns now, thanks to their new Note 4 attack. And this is appearing to be one of those setups. So first of all, yeah, you have to have the attack melody so that you can get attack up extra large, because sadly in Iceborne, attack up extra large is still pretty much how you play hunting horns. But look, he's also gone at elemental up, elemental up, elemental up, elemental up. There's the 4 levels of the Silver Rathalos armor set. The one guy had here, let me, was it Tanzania? No, not Tanzania. Was it? Oh, he changed builds. I'm sorry. How about Dr. Pepper? No. So you could drop a level of the Silver Rathalos armor with an awakened ability, but the question is if that's worth it. Hold on, wrong one. Wait, where'd it go? Was it Manuel we were looking at? I'm sorry, guys, I lost it. Bunga, R2D. Who was it we were looking at? I don't see Hunting Horn. Oh, I'm so sorry. I lost it, guys, because I was looking around. I'm thinking about the idea of whether or not it's really worth it to go with the Awakened ability for Silver Rathalos, or whether you should just go through with building 4 pieces of the Silver Rathalos armor set. It would all depend on how efficient the new piece of armor you bring into your build would be compared to the Silver Rathalos armor set. Wow, that's a lot of words, man. Well, I tell you what, since we lost it, we're going to have to skip ahead to a different build. Let's see, we have Bunga. I believe this is the same build he had before. This appears to be the same build here. Shatter Crusher with Tentacle Cowl. Okay, so that just appears to be a build where you want to look like you're wearing the Namiel set. And it's not very good. You've got an elemental acceleration, but that doesn't even make sense on a blast build. Who is that? 2D? I don't know if he's trolling. Do you guys think 2D is trolling? That can't be the build. Is he? He's got to be trolling, right? Or just make room for someone else if he's trolling. I think he is. All right, we get someone else in. Because there's a slot open now, and you guys can join that, and we'll get even more built in. Mark's Craft with Safi's Frost Splitter. I do not recommend this. It sounds like a good idea when you see that huge 610 ice damage. However, it's really not that much damage, because most of the damage for the Greatsword comes from the fact that he gets a really good damage modifier on its raw attacks, right? I can't remember the name of the move. Not the name of the move, the terminology. It's called motion values. There we go. So motion values. Weapons with high motion values benefit from having more points put into simply raising your raw damage, right? Your raw attack. And they benefit from this because of their motion value multiplier. Whereas elemental weapons that attack very quickly, they don't have a good motion multiplier, and so you get more benefits for doing elemental builds on those, because they don't have anything special going on for them with the motion values, and typically what they do is they attack very quickly, those weapons. So they make up for it with their ability to do high damage using elemental setups. So an elemental setup on a Greatsword is actually not that powerful. Although, what are we seeing here? So we have the Banuk Helm, and you know what? We're just going to stop looking at it at this point, because Banuk Helm is not available on the Xbox and the PC. However, if I had to guess, maybe part of the idea behind his build, does he have crit draw? He does have crit draw. So I'm wondering if maybe part of the idea behind this particular build is that it's a claw build. That might be it, because when you use the weapon attack during a clutch claw on the Greatsword, it does a multi-hit attack. So I'm wondering if that's his reasoning. That might be his reasoning here. Quick Sheath. Yeah, this might be a clutch claw build, but we can't build Banuk Helm on the other consoles, so we're not going to worry about that. Dark Star with the hammer. A lot of hammer builds. Okay, there's that buff chest again. You got the buff chest, but you don't have... He does not have... I don't understand the idea here. So you skipped out on Master's Touch, but you brought your sharpness up to purple. That's just bad. So that's not good. If you're going to build sharpness increase, which I probably wouldn't on a hammer anyways, I would probably just go full attack increase. But if you were going to build up purple sharpness, you would then want to pair that with the Master's Touch to maintain the purple sharpness. So this build is no good. Wow, I'm just tearing through people, you might say. Safi's Bolt Buster, and he's gone with the shelling normal. So that's pretty bad. Attack increase, sharpness increase. Of course you got to have sharpness increase when you're going to build normal shelling, because normal shelling's terrible and it just goes straight through your sharpness. In my opinion, there's never a reason to build normal shelling. Is probably the worst shelling type right now is normal shelling. And somebody's going to be like, yeah, but did you see the speedrun? I did see that speedrun and I hate it. And I hate normal shelling. You can suck my... Okay, so crit eye, attack boost, artillery secret, of course, agitator, crit boost, weakness exploit. So what he's doing here, he's trying to build a melee damage and shelling damage build that is also going to be hungry for sharpness on the weapon, and that is just why normal shelling is so bad. He's got hardly any defense at all on the build. You'll notice he does not have guard 5 or even like guard 2. And does he have guard up? I don't think he has guard up. He doesn't have evade window. He doesn't have evade extender. All the points have to go toward trying to maintain sharpness. That's why he's got 1 level of sharpness and the awakened abilities. And then the rest of the points go to all this other crap. Just do long shelling. Terrible. Spartan with Safi Aqua Shot. We've already seen that build. Spartan. Claire with Safi Shatteraxe. Right, so this is the Rex Roar Mail rather than the buff body, and I'm wondering which one's more efficient, the buff body or the Rex Roar Mail. Otherwise, again, this is going to be a pretty solid straight damage build. Dr. Pepper with the Safi Drakbow, so this is going to be dragon damage. And he's gone with the slot upgrade. That's actually a very interesting thing. Huh. Yeah, I wonder if that's... Okay, and it looks like he's going to be going for the elemental upgrade as well with the Velcana Divinity. So he's going to have 1 piece of Velcana armor. Looks like it's the Rhymeguard Mail Quick Sheath. Man, I bet you when we get Arch-Tempered Velcana, which you know we will, that's going to do an improvement for bow builds. Because he's probably choosing the least bad piece of Velcana armor so that he can pick up the crit element. I won't comment on how good or bad the build is because, again, I'm not qualified to talk about super bow builds. I don't fully understand them. But let's take a look at what he did build. He went with Crit Eye, Dragon Attack, Health Boost, Weakness Exploit, Constitution, Stam Surge 3? Really? I feel like I wouldn't put that much Stam Surge. It's not as necessary in my opinion. No Mighty Bow? Oh, there's Bow Charge. Okay, so he has Bow Charge. Yeah, I don't know if I would build so much Stam Surge. I would probably build like 1 level of Stam Surge. Do you really need that much Stam Surge, guys? I don't think you need that much. And he's got the extra slot upgrade so he can fit normal shots in, but you don't have power shots 2. You don't have to have power shots 2, to be honest, but it does help, I believe. Yeah, I mean, it does help. Elder Wolf Fang. Who gives you the Elder Wolf Fang? I don't even know. Rarity 11? Golden Headdress. So this is kind of like, what I'm seeing here is a build for players who do not have Safi'jiiva weapons. But the problem with that is PC players should be able to obtain Safi'jiiva weapons very soon, tomorrow in fact, and the truth is, Safi'jiiva weapons are going to blow everything else out of the water in terms of damage output. Wow, no, people told me, yeah, this is something I'm still not sure about either. So again, people have told me, when it comes to elemental builds, there are a few rare exceptions for ice damage, and he happens to have an ice damage build here. I wonder if this outperforms the Safi'jiiva weapons, or if he's just showing us a pre-Safi'jiiva build. Yeah, you guys will have to help out with some commentary in the chat room because I won't say too much on this. I have not researched optimal damage for ice damage with the Charge Blade. I mostly just used raw Charge Blade, right? Elder Wolf Fang, huh? Golden Headdress. All of this makes a lot of sense, I'd say. These choices here, bringing in the true crit element. Let's see what people are saying in the chat room, by the way. Let's take a look. WTF, never seen a build smell bad like that. Wait, was my build called bad because I roll with the chunk of purple with no MT? I do not need MT. If I thought I did, I would use it. Yes, you do. You do need Master's Touch. Malcolm Gatto says, Brute, Wyverns, Big Adventures. That's right. Parker says, depends on what you're trying to do. You need Part Breaker for Sophajiva. Navion says, Cedric Robert, WTF, Brute, Wyverns, Big Adventures. Dark, I agree with your Purple Sharpness build. Ranjit says, guys, what skills are worth putting in your mantles? Ah, yes. That's the question we all ask. They don't seem as good because they're only temporary. I demand a recount. Suffering from success. We need suck ammo. You only need 1 Constitution if you drink Dash Juice, and 1 Constitution 2 Stamp Surge if no Dash Juice. Thank you, Fan. Fan the man. Fan the man. John Tider says the only ice charge blade that is better than Sophajiva is the Beatoda's charge blade. John Tider, that sounds exactly like what somebody has already told me. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Tasty Taco says, suck! That's right. Ice charge blade is full charge blade with Beatoda's charge blade. Okay. We need nude ammo. If you prefer less damage, not a single insect glade build. Navion Flex and Cedric Robert WTF to WTF. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some more builds, guys. You ready? This is the build stream, and I am talking so much. I feel like I'm on full chitter chatter. Let's see. So we've seen Tanzania a bunch. Do we have somebody new to look at? I think what we're going to have to do soon is clear out the room and invite people back in to get a new set of people. But let's go ahead and take a look one last time at these setups. Shatter Crusher, Blast, Affinity. And why is he doing that? No, this build is bad because it's very easy to max your affinity out, and it's very difficult to... So he has no weakness exploit, but what did he replace weakness exploit with? I don't get it. No, see, you're not replacing weakness exploit with anything meaningful. So this, I get what you're doing here. You're substituting affinity increase and the Sophajiva Dragon Vein Awakening skill to drop the weakness exploit, but weakness exploit is actually very cheap and easy to build. So your affinity will be more consistent even on parts that are not like good hit zone values for blunt. Right, you will get your crits all the time, but it's easy actually to focus on parts that are weak to blunt, and it's very cheap to build weakness exploit, and you're losing a lot of damage by dropping 2 of your attack increase 5 upgrades for the hammer here. Also, I question your choice of adding the Teostra technique. Was it really needed to have? I guess you had to do that to get the Sophajiva in. See, so you're losing that too. So that's no good. You don't want to do that. Manuel. All right, I like this build, Manuel. We already saw it a bunch of times though. We've already seen that one. Claire's got it right too. See that? All attack increase. Claire knows what's going on. Good job, Claire. See, all attack increase, and then Claire's going 3 pieces of the Kaiser set, which includes this coil that gives you blast attack. And you're open to do what you want with the chest. You can do the cure in chest, and that will give you a crit eye, and it will give you some divine protection. So you could do that alternatively. Claire and Manuel, these are the good ones right here. Although again, I'll mention on Manuel's, don't bother with the sharpness increases. Go with 2 attack increases. That's why I recommend on those. Boonga. Again, pretty solid here. Yeah, this is again another setup I agree with. All attack increase. You don't need the other crap. Just add the other crap on in the armor. Go for all attack increase. And if you're going to drop a piece of Teostra armor, it has to be a really meaningful piece of armor that you're adding. So example, you could drop the Rex Roar Mail, and you could drop one piece of Teostra armor and pick up Divine Blessing Secret, right? So that would be the only case you will add Teostra technique to your awakened abilities. Results. Safi Aqua Spear, I think we looked at this one already, and it's kind of all over the place. Dr. Pepper, the Draft Bow, Dark Star. So what do we got going on here? No Teostra technique is bad. You got to have Teostra technique, because what happens, see how he has all this sharpness? He's got tons of sharpness, right? Just drop those and replace it with attack increase 5 twice. In fact, an attack increase 6, so he's missing his attack increase 6, and then just run Teostra's technique. And the purple sharpness is really not giving you that much, by the way. So again, I would definitely run that. You know, and the Dragon Vein Awakenings is very Dragon Vein Awakening, by the way, is very good for elemental builds. I don't think you need it that bad on raw damage builds. I think what's more important is reaching those 5 attack increases on the Awakenings and then going Master's Touch. Shalter, let's see if he's got a serious build here. So what do we have? Safi's Shatter Splitter. It's a good choice. And we have Kaiser Crown, Kaiser Mail. I don't know if I agree with the chest. It's not a very strong chest piece. But what does he got here? Kaiser Van Braces, and then he's missing the best coil. So the whole reason this is such a strong build here with the blast is because the coil's coming with 2 levels of blast. But I guess that is not super important on the Greysword because it's not like it hits very often. Wait, is that mine or his? This should be his. So yeah, that's not too big of a deal, especially if you're having trouble getting health boost into your build, and health boost is a pretty high priority. This is bad though. The Rhymeguard Greaves, you've gone with crit draw rather than with the Garuga Greaves. It doesn't make any sense to me to do that. You're missing crit boost 3 and weakness exploit 3. So you need to go out and get those Garuga Greaves. Nobody should be skipping them. They're OP. There's very rare situations where you skip Garuga Greaves. Only specific weapons skip them. Lord Defruffin. Elder Wolf Fang, we were deciding that the Beatotus Charge Blade is higher damage. Treo. Crimson Kadashan Line, I already agreed with that one. Iron Dabes. Wait, is this different? Okay, so here's a Safi Aqua Shot, and what does he have going on here? Like is this an early game build? Maybe this is an early game build. So he's using 3 pieces of the Zora set, 1 Ingot Mail, which is pretty easy to afford, the Kadashi Greaves, Razor Sharp Charm. I don't know if I agree with that. So if you're trying to make like let's say a budget build, that's the term I use, I actually feel like the Safi Aqua Shot with Nargacuga is already pretty budget, because the Nargacuga armor set is pretty easy to obtain. Same with the Zora armor set. You can obtain it fairly at a low master rank. So it already pretty much was a budget build. I don't think that would be a quote budget build. So Tetro, everyone loves the hammer. What do we have going on here? So this is looking like it's going to be a Divine Blessing secret setup, and he's got the gold. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I misunderstanding this? Why are these so confusing? Why do we have to have golden at the beginning of the name for both of these? How freaking confusing. This golden headdress is actually going to be Rajang, and this is going to be Gold Raytheon. Come on, Capcom. Come on, dude. That's super confusing. Well, anyways, let's take a look at this. So this is now looking all over the place. What has he got? He's got Teostra Technique. He does have Master's Touch on, so he's wearing Kaiser Coil and Kaiser Van Braces, and he dropped the helmet to pick up the golden headdress helmet. And I guess you can do that. I don't really feel like you need to do that, though. Golden Loon Mail. Yeah, you could do that, for sure. You do that if you don't have trouble building Crit Eye. It looks like he didn't have trouble building Crit Eye. Oh, because he used the Charm, I see. And what does the Charm give again? 4 levels of Crit Eye, huh? Okay, you could do that. You could do that. What else? Kaiser Coil, Garuga Greaves. Yeah, I can get behind this build. It's okay. I think that, honestly, you can drop the Teostra Technique. So the Teostra Technique Awaken ability can just be turned into another attack increase. And also, because you're going Master's Touch, you will actually also drop the Sharpness increase. So you would just go 5 attack increase on this setup as well. So you can get more damage out and still have essentially the same build. Here's Sid. I think Sid's new. Rajang Destroyer. So the Rajang Destroyer is very easy to obtain. Just fight like Rajang like twice and you'll be able to craft it. Let me start off by going after his mods. You do not want triple shield mod. It makes no sense to have triple shield mod. You do not need it. Triple shield mod is doo-doo. Let me tell you how many shield mods you only ever need. 1 shield mod. Ever. You only ever need 1 shield mod. For all you would-be heavy bowgun builders, you only ever need 1 shield mod. There is no good benefit to the other shield mods. Will they lower your impact? Sure. You do not need them, though. You just roll out of the way of the move. Just get away from it. And then if it's a really powerful move, you either have guard up or you don't. Okay? So there's very, very rare situations where shield mods are really helping you to have multiple of them. Whereas you're giving up the recoil and the reload speed, which is all your damage. So trading all your damage to have another shield mod is really foolish. So you want to drop those shield mods. Let's see. Rajang Destroyer, which is well known for being useful for sticky ammo, but also it's not terrible for spread. He has Dober Helm. Okay, he's doing that for the ammo up. He's got 3 pieces of the Nargapuga, and he's doing that for True Spare Shot, and the Safi Crested Van Braces. And what do we have here? Evade Window 5, which I would tell you is terrible. It doesn't really make sense, does it? Why would you want Evade Window 5 and 3 shield mods? You're just... The defense options you're choosing don't really synergize with each other meaningfully, and yet they're so expensive. So you're giving up so much. And I think part of his reasoning for the... Give me a moment. Part of his reasoning, I think, for the triple shield mods is that he doesn't need recoil or reload speed because he's using the... I'm guessing... No, I'm pretty confident that he's using the sticky ammo, so he's like, I'll just go shield mod. But there's just so many other things you could be doing. Is a terrible idea. Just take the one shield. Ranged attack up? I don't even know what the ranged attack up is going to be for. It's not going to be for the Wyvern Heart. So I don't really understand that either. Yeah, this build's all over the place. That build needs fixing, Sid. Mark's Craft, Safi's Burst Cannon. I'm surprised we didn't see one of these earlier. So we've got the attack increase, spread capacity 3. And we have the recoil suppressor. Looking good. Full Sophagiva set. You know, I've seen this build before, and I've questioned if that is optimal, but I think it is. And then for the mods, he's got the shield, the special scope, and the close range. All this looking very good so far. Guard 5. Okay, health boost. Not bad. I like health boost. Free element ammo up, crit boost, weakness exploit, evade window. That's coming from the Sophagiva set itself. Spread power shot 2. You do not have all the crit eye that you would like to have. So you're missing a lot of damage by not getting that crit eye higher. That's a... Ooh, no. No, you're not. Because you've got true Dragon Vein Awakening. You don't need all the crit eye, do you? Okay. Yeah, I like the build. I do. I like this one a lot. And of course, he's got the Impact Mantle because he's going to shoot the monster in the head with the spread shot and cause an easy KO. And this is one of the most OP builds in the game right now, is that one that he's running. Where'd he go? Oh, I see. It says he has a longsword, but actually when we inspect, it's a spread ammo build. Yeah, so if you guys wanted a really OP build, you would take this build right here. This is a very OP build right here. The Safi Burst Cannon for spread ammo 3. Very OP. Here's Spartan. Alright, Spartan using that Safi Aqua Shot. This is a very standard build once again. Alright, let's go ahead and refresh. Did anyone leave, by the way? Nobody left. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and create a new session, and we're going to get new viewers in so we can judge their builds as well. All right. Thank you, everyone, for letting me harshly judge you. Now we're going to let some new players in, and we're going to harshly judge them as well. Okay. Sound fun? King Dank says, this is boring. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. There's an awful lot of talking going on and an awful lot of analysis going on, but if you're somebody who needs help with a build, or you need to just hear some ideas behind builds, this is probably the stream for you. I harshly judge your builds. Some of these builds are perfect for new players, but they get brushed off as sets that don't make sense. Well, when I say they don't make sense, basically the build is able to be improved without giving up the basic concept behind the build. So like having sharpness on a hammer when you're running, you know, Master's Touch already, just so that you can pick up the purple sharpness. Stuff like that. 3 shields is good for comfy build. It is not. You do not need 3 shield mods ever. You do not need it. Okay, so here is the new online session ID. I'll read you guys' comments for now. Feech says he's explicitly saying harsh, so I guess that's the point of this session. That's right. I harshly judge your PlayStation builds. Maybe we'll do this for the Xbox as well. Would you guys like that? Mary says, when the frick you going to hunt? I want to see some action. Hunt something. This is the me judging people's build live stream, Mary. That is the whole point of the live stream. It's the special live stream where I harshly judge you. And then I triple card. Can we set Dr. Game Economist on Xbox? What? That's right. We can, Kyle. I'm thinking about doing that for fun. King Dank says this game suffers from power creep. This game strongly suffers from power creep and the lack of a serious boss. There's no like end game reward that you can only obtain by defeating the most difficult boss ever. That just doesn't exist here. Boy, we're getting a lot of subs. A lot of people subscribed. Woo. How is it going, Almighty Grubs? Alright, let's see if people have joined. How's it going, Jonathan Cham? Thank you so much for that Patreon pledge, by the way. Yeah, my wife and I are going through what's probably going to be pretty tight financial times soon. We have 3 mortgages because we're in the middle of selling her parents' home for them. Because her mother, if you didn't know, got cancer last year. And of course, it kind of like bankrupted them. So we moved them into a tiny home that they can afford. And they have their older home, and we're going to sell that for them and recoup a lot of lost money. And now we have a recession in the U.S., so we're pretty sure we're going to be stuck with 3 mortgages, or we're going to end up selling the 3rd home at a loss. So we have our 3 homes and our two student debts and our bills, all of our regular bills. Like you guys, we're going to be really tight in a minute here. We're lucky to have saved up a little bit of money before any of this happened, but it's not going to be good, and we don't know how long it's going to be that way. So anyways, thank you for that, Jonathan Cham. It makes life a little bit less scary when you have some Patreon pledges. Let's go ahead and take a look at these builds now. I do see some new names. Awesome. So we've got Chica at Master Rank 46. Let's see what's going on in Chica's life. Brimstone Drakebone. That is definitely going to be from the Sophagiva. Not the Sophagiva. That's definitely going to be from the Stygians of Noga, right? Pretty sure. Fellshroud Helm. Buff Chest, Shar Ishval the Braces, Shar Ishval the Coil, and Fellshroud Greaves. I can't judge too harshly because actually this is looking pretty good for an early game build where you're only Master Rank 46. He's got Health Boost, Crit Boost, Weakness, Exploit, Agitator. Speed Eating's nice to have, especially if you're going to be using the Mega Potions, which you should because they're very cheap. He's got a little bit of Handicraft, a little bit of Peak Performance, and Fortifies on the build. Makes sense. Divine Blessing, and guess what? Max Might actually does pair with the Longsword. Very good. I agree with your choices, Chica, for an early build. See, people are like, hey, some of these builds make sense for early people. No, they don't. Chica's build does actually make sense, though. Let's see, Kairosaur. What do we got going on here, Kairosaur? Have we already... I think we've already seen this one, right? I think we've seen this one. Pretty sure we have. But I agree with this. All attack increase paired with Master's Touch. That's what I would do for damage on the hammer. Samus. It's Samus. Sophagiva's Shatterfang with the Blast. Yes, with the Blast. And he's given himself a little bit of white sharpness. Is there no Okay, so there's no Teostra's technique or whatever. There's no Master's Touch. So in that case, you would actually consider sharpness increase. But then the question is, what did you give up? What did you gain by giving up the Master's Touch? And I'm seeing this Golden Headdress, Golden Loon Mail again. Ruinous Vambraces, that's going to be Attack Boost Agitator. Golden Loon Coil and Garuga Greaves. I don't know. What have you really picked up here? Peak Performance 2 is not good, by the way. You really want your peak... if you're talking about an endgame build, you want your Peak Performance to be level 3. Peak Performance 3. So Peak Performance 3 gets a large boost, right? It's like an exponential boost when you reach rank 3. When you stop at rank 2, you don't get all the benefit of this skill. Meaning that the last level of the skill gives you bonus. So Divine Blessing Secret. I feel like you could put together a better Divine Blessing Secret setup, Samus. Fee Ox with Sophia's Bolt Shot. Bullet Shot, huh? Elemental Capacity 3. And then Attack Increase. Recoil Suppressor, Power Barrel. So this is definitely looking like, yep, this is going to be a Thunder Attack build. You'll notice he goes full Sophagiva armor set, which is better than if you built, what do they call that? Crit Element. So this is going to be a pretty standard elemental damage build, but this time with the Sophia's Bullet Shot rather than the Aqua Shot. Very good. Just taking a look at everything else. It all appears to be there. Earplugs, huh? Crit Boost 3. I feel like I would have wanted some... Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're shooting. I don't see Part Breaker on this, so this isn't for Sophagiva. He's got evade extender and evade window on a light bowgun. I don't think I agree with evade window and an evade extender on a light bowgun. It's already very easy to roll, and your normal roll doesn't actually really get a lot of benefit from evade extender. So I actually would drop those. The power barrel makes sense for elemental ammo at least, to a degree. Depends on what you're fighting, I guess. And then I don't know, man. I think I would try to get some crit eye onto the build. You're going for the crit boost because of the raw damage. I would drop the evade window and evade extender and go for crit eye. At least enough to bring it up to 100 because you're pairing that with the True Dragon Vein Awakening. So here's Izzy with Safi, Shatterbuster, and this is going to be, is going Shelling Long? Ah, yes. I was waiting for somebody to build this. Zora Magdaros Essence. Sharpness, Shelling Long, slot upgrade. Okay. Okay, let's see what he does for the armor. Zora Magdaros Essence, and why did you not just build all Zora gear? So we've got Golden Loon Mail, Silver Soul Braces, Golden Loon Coil. You did it because you wanted the Divine Blessing Secret, right? And the Zora Spurs. Let's take a look at it. There's Divine Blessing Secret and Artillery Secret. We have earplugs. It's decent to have, I guess. Artillery, Divine Blessing, Health Boost, Focus, Evade Extender, Slinger Capacity, which is good. Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to have like Slinger Capacity Secret. Part Breaker 2. So if you're fighting Sophajiva, that Part Breaker needs to be Part Breaker 3. But I'm sure you can find a way to fit that on somewhere. There's the Capacity Boost. And only Guard 1, huh? I would want Guard 2 at least, personally. I would want Guard 2. Unless you're going to hop through everything, but I don't think you are. The Evade Extender makes sense as well for moving around. So that's not bad. It's not bad, Izzy. That looks about right. Akame with Safi's Bindhorn. And this is probably also going to be a team support build. Again, let me mention, although the temptation with the Hunting Horn is I'm already handing out the Attack of Extra Large buff. What if I was also playing wide range? Although that sounds appealing, anyone can run wide range, and there's no special synergy between wide range and any weapon. There's no special synergy. Everyone gets the exact same effects from Might Seed and from Demon Powder and from Mega Demon Drug. So the problem with doing a wide range build on the Horn is very often the very last few slots are competing with Horn Maestro. So that is the sad part, which means a weapon like the Longsword or a weapon like the Sword and Shield or a weapon like the Hammer that don't really have to build anything special, definitely not Horn Maestro, they are actually able to fit Speed Eating and Free Meal Secret onto the build more easily without sacrificing anything. Isn't that sad? Yeah, the Hunting Horn's Horn Maestro is almost like guard up on the lance and the gun lance. You would think that they are just good at guarding already, but no, you have to give up a medium decoration slot to guard up and then small decoration slots to guard. The Hunting Horn's need for Horn Maestro is just like that. It's like you're already supposed to be good at buffs. Why do I have to build this? And other weapons don't. Let's take a look at the build though. Evade Window 5. Nah, I would not. I would never build Evade Window 5. Evade Window 5 and Evade Extender? So Evade Extender, it makes sense on weapons with like medium movement. Sort of like, okay, the Lance or the Gun Lance or the Switch Axe, maybe the Charge Blade. Evade Extender works well on the Heavy Bowgun as well. But the Hunting Horn, I don't think I would build Evade Extender. And then Evade Window is just often overkill. Unless you're fighting something like Extreme Behemoth, and there's some really efficient pieces of armor for Evade Window that makes sense to keep your damage up, but also have it. Otherwise, I just wouldn't build it. We were testing it out the other day, and I actually didn't like Evade Window. There's that combination of wide range and tool specialist secret once again. And what I see here is you have the health booster and the cleanser booster, but take a look at the recharge time on those. 150 seconds is some of the fastest recharge time anyways. So what you're doing is you're restricting your damage output by thinking that you have to build Tool Specialist Secret when you're already using a piece of equipment with a fantastic recharge time. You really don't need Tool Specialist to be using Health Booster and Cleanser Booster. So a recharge time of 150 is very short. It goes by very quickly, especially if you spread them out a little bit. So here we have, and consider this, when it's reducing recharge time by like whatever it is, 50%, when it's going by like percentile, and you're dealing with a percentile on a smaller number, you're not really getting as big of a benefit as if you were using Tool Specialist Secret on a tool with a very long recharge, like Rock Steady. So you get a greater benefit of pairing Tool Specialist Secret with a mantle like Rocksteady, and a very small benefit of pairing Tool Specialist Secret with a tool like Health Booster. So I just wouldn't pair that. You can build wide range with one charm, and the rest of your skills can just be, the rest of your armor pieces can be the typical damage output armor pieces. And we see Free Meal Secret showing up again, which is real popular. I'll mention once again, you don't have to have Free Meal Secret to be an effective healer. You have plenty of potions, but I'll admit it's nice for conserving your consumables, which I think that's appealing because it gets annoying if you play healer a lot and you're the one losing all of your consumables and nobody else is. So I think at least I can understand that from that perspective for Free Meal Secret. So I think that one needs reworking, Akame. Suicide Snake. Safi's Dream Fang. And I'm going to immediately say, nope, that is terrible. You do not want Sleep Ailment on your melee weapon, unless you're a greatsword player and you're playing by yourself, so you're putting the monster to sleep and then getting your own wake-up attack on it. That's probably one of the very rare exceptions for putting ailment, sleep, and paralysis on a melee weapon. Otherwise, there's probably the rare case where you're at the end of a serious fight and nobody's used an ailment, and then you might swap over to an ailment weapon, but that's the only exception, and it rarely happens. I mean, Safajiva, people, you're going to be using the Aqua Shot, and so the vast majority of the time, they're going to have sleep and paralysis ammo, and they're going to paralyze and sleep the monster at the appropriate time, which is going to be in stage 3 during the critical state. Yeah, the critical state on Safajiva. Wow, man, I can talk. I just talk and talk and talk. Christopher. Look at this. Christopher's master rank 999 and high rank 999. So I don't know if he used a save wizard for that or if this guy is OG super playing like hardcore. We have Safi Burst Cannon again with spread capacity, no recoil suppressor. Oh, because he built in the mod section, he built a level of recoil suppression and then he dropped the scope. You can do that if you find it very annoying to use the scope, but you're definitely giving up a lot of damage if you do that. So he's dropped the scope for recoil suppressor and he's taken one more level of attack increase. Don't know if I agree with that. It's probably more fun, but it's just not the same. It's not going to be the same damage output. He also picked up Mind's Eye Ballistics by dropping True Dragon Vein Awakening. So overall, you can bring this build. It's just going to be a weaker build. Everything else looks about right. Recovery Up. Recovery Up doesn't really make sense on this because what do you have on this? Do you have... That's affinity increase. I don't know what the Recovery Up is for. Is the Recovery Up coming from a particular... You built for Recovery Up. I don't really know why. Why would he build Recovery Up? Yeah, Recovery Up doesn't make any sense to me either. So you might want to get rid of Recovery Up, Christopher. Geralt. How's it going, Geralt? Inspect Equipment. And right off the bat, this is bad. We can tell right away because he went all affinity increase for 100% affinity. But no, you would never do that because it's very easy to build affinity and very difficult to build more damage. You got like attack boost, agitator, resentment, peak performance, but those are not too powerful. So building attack increase is pretty much always going to be standard on awakened abilities. So that's bad. Apollo. Safi's Shatterblade. And what we see here, he's got the eye patch. Maybe he's doing that for fashion. Rex Roar, Ruinous Fanbrace, Golden Loon Coil, Garuga Greaves. So no set bonus skills, right? Yeah, no set bonus skills. That means no Master's Touch. It means no Divine Blessing Secret. I think that you're really missing out on your set bonus skills here. And it doesn't really matter if you do slightly more or slightly less damage. The big problem is that you're missing those set bonus skills. Most likely you're going to do significantly less damage because you don't have Master's Touch. Kura with Shady. Here we go. Attack increase all the way. Okay, but no Master's Touch, huh? So the problem with this build is you will quickly fall into blue sharpness, and the blue sharpness is going to kill your damage output. So you got it probably right here when you went all attack increase. However, you did not bring Master's Touch, which I recommend bringing. You're going to drop the Safi armor set. The Safi armor set's nice for some builds, but it is not necessary here, and what you really need is Master's Touch to maintain your white sharpness, because when your white sharpness drops off, you lose a ton of damage. Also, I don't know how I feel about the evade window. I suppose it would pair with the back hop, or the hop for the sword and shield. I don't know the technical name of the move. The correct name of the move, I should say. And protective polish. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to substitute protective polish in for Master's Touch. But the problem is you're going to have to use protective polish throughout the fight over and over and over again. This is something I tested personally. Speed sharpening and protective polish together, and it was terrible. Protective polish feels like it lasts for about a minute, maybe. And then you run through that white sharpness right away. Especially with a weapon like Sword and Shield that actually attacks often. So if you were using, I don't know, maybe like the Gray Sword, it would sneak by with that a little bit easier. But no, this is Sword and Shield. You're going to definitely lose that white sharpness very fast. Protective polish and speed sharpening are not going to do it, I promise. I don't know. Maybe there's like a rare exception. I doubt it. No, I doubt it. Atuna Makata. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Atuna, let's see. Changed builds on us there. What are we running? Safi's Shatter Spear. I like that. I'm seeing the 3 levels of Kaiser armor, so that's correct with Master's Touch. Excuse me. Do I have an ant on me? No, I don't. I'm going crazy. Thought I had a bug on me. Kieran Jacket. I often use Kieran Jacket myself. Let's see. And Garuga Greaves and the Handicraft Charm. This is looking pretty fair. Glider Mantle. So I'm liking what I see so far. Sharpness increase, huh? I think that you could bring sharpness increase on the Insect Glaive. It probably wouldn't be such a big deal. Although I would probably go attack increase 6 and sharpness increase 5. I don't know. Because you're losing 1 level of attack increase. And you're also bringing the Handicraft Charm rather than like the Agitator Charm. So do you have Agitator? You don't have Agitator. And you're running Latent Power. Why are you running Latent Power? So I would drop the Latent Power. And I would bring Agitator instead. And then I would drop the Sharpness increase. And I would bring probably another attack increase. You're already getting a little bit from the attack increase 5, which you don't necessarily need that either. And then you will just have the white sharpness, but then you will be able to drop the Handicraft Charm as well. So that's probably what I would do here. Purple sharpness, not that valuable. Definitely not on raw builds. Purple sharpness, not that valuable. Okay. Safi's Bind Buster. Paralysis on a melee weapon. Bam, that's terrible. Neko. Safi's Shatterbuster with the Blast. That's amazing. Rajang's Rage. So that's going to be a Mind's Eye Ballistic skill, right? Yeah, Mind's Eye Ballistic. Why do you need that on a... Does that affect the reach of shelling? If it increases the reach of long shelling, that would be news to me. I think I was asking that just the other day, if it increases the range of your shelling. But I don't actually know if it does. And he's gone for normal shelling, so let's see how bad this is. He's got a ton of handicraft, because you got to have a lot of handicraft with the normal shelling. And then he's not really taking advantage of the normal shelling because, look, he doesn't have Weakness Exploit 3, Crit Eye 7, and Crit Boost 3. So this build will just not perform that well. You're better off with the long shelling, Neko. Let's see, and this is me. Alright, so we've looked at all those builds, and we have been talking about builds non-stop for 1 hour and 30. Let's go ahead and see what you guys are saying in the chat section. Just need item prolonger instead of speed sharpness. Nobody asked. Oh yeah, I heard about that. It was a 5.3 prolonger. Most speedrunners run 1 sharpness modifier for purple. I don't know if that... I'll look into that, C. Johnson, because I don't know if that's always true, though. I think it depends on what weapon we're talking about. James Peabody says... It's an interesting thing. It's not just which weapon, but also what monster you're fighting, and how accurate your weapon is, how fast your weapon moves through sharpness, right? So there's a number of things that go on. It's definitely one of those like on the line kind of issues. Where's the originality, the diversity? It's all the same, says Malcolm. Well, we do like to see diverse builds, but we don't like to see builds that are unnecessarily diverse. I guess is the word I'm saying. So it's like I could put a build together where we're using Spore Puff Expert. That doesn't mean the fact that I'm using Spore Puff is good. Kevin says, boot some people so you can review more builds. Even Jared says, have you ever thought to try a P1 Safijiva? It seems pretty easy. I need to do that. I need to put together some friends, and we need to P1 Safijiva so that I can obtain the Safijiva role in my own Discord. Sacrifice my Cabri... Oh, okay, he's speaking another language. What? I want you to review mine. Did I not already? Are you in here? Mind's Eye is actually very useful for gun lance. You burn through your sharpness really fast when your weapon bounces off. It really ruins your shelling. Oh, so you take the take the Mind's Eye for the normal shelling because of the bad sharpness on normal shelling. So, but basically, what you're telling me there is you have to have this skill to compensate for how bad normal shelling is, and that's not good. The Lane Power Insect Glaive was an aerial build. Okay. Except that aerial builds for Insect Glaive are not very good right now. They were just okay at the end of the base game, but in Iceborne they are terrible. So I would not bother with aerial builds. You can do some aerial damage, but I wouldn't do like an all aerial damage Insect Glaive build right now. Greg says, is dual blades not meta? Not seeing any representation. Hey, that's a great point, Greg. We haven't seen even one dual blades. My gunless build is good even though it has ailment. I see what you're saying, but I'm not recommending any ailment builds if they're melee, except for maybe Sleep Greatsword if you're playing solo, or if you guys make a convincing argument for another particular setup. All right, let's go ahead. Iz says, can you review my hammer? I believe I can if you're in here. Here we go. We're going to take another set of, we're going to take another peek at all these builds, starting with Chica. Brimstone Drakebone. So this is going to be the same build. Very good. I thought that was a good starter build. Krikosaur. Wait, did I say that? Kyrosaur. There we go. Datura Fluorescence. I don't know why you would take this over the Safijiva Poison Sword and Shield, though. That's the only problem. Grabbing your headphones? Yeah. You want to say hi to everyone?
Hey, what's up?
You want me to face reveal you now?
You couldn't even do it if you wanted to.
I could, actually. There's a button that would make my camera turn on.
Alright, bye.
Are you running? Why are you running? All right, back to it. So Datura Fluorescence. I just wouldn't. I don't like the weapon, first of all. I think this is supposed to be like a new player build. Is that what's going on here? What do we have? Fell Shroud, Fell Shroud. Golden Loon Mail, Golden Loon Helm, Shar Ishvalda. I would say it's just got a lot of defensive skills on it, but like literally no damage at all. So just afflicting a monster with poison, you will be surprised with how low the damage output is on that. It's extremely low. So just causing a poison or two on the monster is not really helping. So that build is definitely missing too much damage. Samus with the Hunting Horn build. Safi Shatterhorn. Here we go. Hunting Horn represent. We got what? Safi Crest Crown. He went with the sharpness increase, probably because of no Teostra technique, right? Okay, that's what he's doing. Agitator, Resentment, Attack Boost 4. I'm liking this so far. Health Boost, Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit. Remember, you don't need Crit Eye because you have True Dragon Vein Awakening. Evade Window 3, that's appropriate. Blight Resist, Horn Maester 2, Flinch Free 1, that's appropriate. Tools, well, you don't really have to have the Flinch Free 1. Did he have to build that, or did it come for free in the Safijiva set? Tool Specialist, that's probably in, yeah, that's in the gear, duh. Coalescence. I like that one. So that is a decent raw damage build that you might use if you weren't worried about having a prolonged fight where you don't want to have to sharpen. That's pretty decent. I like that. Good job, Samus. Izzy. Safi's Venom Crusher. Okay, I'm very aroused. Let's see. Safi Crested, Golden Loon Mail, Golden Loon Coil. I feel like you're going to have... Yeah, so you have a missed opportunity here, though, where... Well, do you, though? You don't have to have the poison attack from the Golden Loon Mail armor set. Let's see. Wouldn't it be nice if we could build that true crit status real fast? But here, let's keep going. Dragon Vein Awakening and Divine Blessing Secret. Crit Eye Agitator, Divine Blessing, Health Boost, Recovery Up. Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit. Slugger! You don't really need Slugger on the hammer builds. And what do we have here? Health Regen and Defense Increase. Okay, okay. It's not bad. It's not bad for a defensive setup. It's a mixed defense-offense setup. Yeah, that one's okay. Let's try the next one. No problem. Let's try Pocky. Safi Shatteraxe. These are... Some of those earlier ones we were seeing were just not good. These are closer, I can tell. So we have 3 pieces of the Kaiser set, which means this is definitely going to be a Master's Touch setup. You've given up one of your attack increases for Affinity Increase 6, which means you're giving up quite a lot, actually. But is it even necessary? I mean, you have Crit Eye 7, Agitator 4, and Weakness Exploit 3. Are you just worried about targeting the wrong body part on the monster? And you have 1 level of latent power, too. I think you can drop that Affinity Increase and replace it with Attack Increase. Maybe what's going on here in his build, guys, is he's not done awakening this particular weapon. You'll notice he's got 2 levels of attack increase at 4. So he's probably just not done. Yeah, he's probably just not done. And then we see a pretty standard Rex Roar Male and Garuga Greaves here. Unscathed. Oh, right. So this is what you see a lot of skilled players bringing is Peak Performance Charm, because believe it or not, Peak Performance Charm is extremely efficient for building Peak Performance. So this is like the most efficient way to build Peak now, if I'm not mistaken on that. So you had Glider Mantle and Vitality Mantle. You would think that you would have the Temporal Mantle. I would do Glider and Temporal. I think he's doing Vitality Mantle because he doesn't want... No, I don't know why he's doing it. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I would swap that out. Akame with the Jewel Blades. Here we go. Safi Drac Claws. Okay, and he's got the Purple Sharpness. He's got the Purple Sharpness, but no Master's Touch. I don't know if I agree with that. Ooh, it's a tricky one, actually, because he's got full Safijiva armor for the elemental damage. Maybe I do agree with that, actually. I do agree with that, actually. I'm just thinking about it now. Because so like the bow, the dual blades are a weapon I don't hardly play. I rarely play dual blades. Don't hardly is a double negative. I gotta be careful with my words. I rarely play it. So I think I do agree with full Safijiva armor here for the dual blades. And he's got the Marathon Runner. Handicraft will give him a small amount of purple sharpness, which is fine. But you didn't build Resentment. Don't you think you would rather have Resentment on the build? Because you're going to spend a lot of time with your health missing. I would go Resentment. Marathon Runner, Evade Window, Speed Sharpening, Protective Polish. Oh, he's doing a Speed Sharpening, Protective Polish setup to maintain the purple sharpness. That's why. But you've dropped Resentment. I don't know, man. I think I would give up... Ooh, that's a tough one, actually. That is actually pretty tough. Resentment versus Protective Polish, Speed Sharpening on Purple Sharpness. That's tough. What do you guys think of that one? I'll have to do some research of my own for dual blades to decide how I feel about that. I feel that you could drop the Handicraft and pick up Resentment Charm, and then you could probably build Agitator as well. Or Peak Performance. Well, no, you wouldn't build Peak Performance. I take that back. I'm sorry. You would build Agitator and Resentment rather than having Handicraft, Speed Sharpening, and Protective Polish and Purple Sharpness. I think that you would end up doing more damage, right? With the Resentment and the Agitator. I'm pretty sure you would. Alright. Very good, Akame. I think that was very close. So you might be right about that with the Protective Polish. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that one. Because once that Protective Polish dies, you will lose that Purple Sharpness like that. It'll just be gone. So you will have to sharpen each time it goes away. Versus having Resentment active the entire game. I feel like the Resentment's the better option. Especially if you're also able to bring some Agitator. Suicide Snake. Safijiva Shatter Shield with full attack increase. I'm liking it so far. Although I have been questioning whether or not it might be worth it to bring 1 level of sharpness increase, because Savage Axe actually does a fair amount of melee damage, and falling into blue sharpness for Savage Axe is, I've been thinking a lot about that, and so I've been trying to determine if 1 level of sharpness is maybe a good idea for this setup. I'm liking most of what I see. I don't think that the Ironside Charm is needed. You could probably just bring about 3 levels of guard and then replace Ironside Charm with something like Agitator. Or since you're, in this case, it looks like you're bringing all Safijiva. Ooh. So you're not even running Master's Touch. Why would you not run Master's Touch? It pairs so well with the Damascus chest. What do we got going on here? Crit eye, guard, attack boost, crit boost, focus, artillery, evade window, offensive guard, blight resist, capacity boost, Dragon Vein Awakening. But see, your artillery, your files don't even benefit from... No, I don't like this build. I don't like this build. Your shelling does not... Your files do not benefit from the Safi armor enough. I would definitely go with the Master's Touch setup mixed with Garuga Greaves and Damascus Chess. I think you're losing damage here. Yeah, for sure. All right, nice try, Suicide Snake. Then the Dingo. Let's take a look at the Dingo. Here's another setup. This is probably going to be a Sade setup. Is that what I'm seeing? Because I'm seeing full Zora this time. And the Acidic. So he's gone with the Zora and Agitator, which is interesting. But he does not have additional sharpness, which, again, to me that says he is probably not using the melee attacks. He's probably using only the shelling. So that is an interesting idea. And I'm curious to see what else he has. Artillery Secret, Max Might. Oh, that's Max Might. I'm sorry. I thought it was Agitator Secret. Max Might Secret. Why would you want Max Might Secret? It makes no sense. I thought it was Agitator Secret. My bad. Is it Brachydios? Brachydios is Agitator Secret. I'm an idiot. So earplugs, artillery 5, which you would do that if you were doing a Sade only setup on the Charge Blade. So I thought that's where you were going with this. But then you brought Max Might 5, and there's no crit boost. No, this build's bad, man. Sorry, Dingo. Let's take a look at Christopher. All right, Christopher's got a lance, which means we will just pass right over him. Oops, actually, there we go. So Christopher's got the worst weapon in the game. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm messing with you, Christopher. So Safi's Shatter Snout. I was waiting for you guys to get angry. Sharpness increase 6. All right. And that would make sense. All right, it does make sense if you're dropping the Teostra armor. So that's what he's done here. But what are you replacing it with? What are you replacing it with? Nothing. And you know why he ended up dropping it? Probably because he wanted to be able to afford Guard 5, Offensive Guard, and Guard Up. Isn't that sad? That's one of the reasons I think that the Lance struggles to keep up with the other weapons, is because you got all this other shit to build. Guard 5, Offensive Guard, Guard Up. You gotta build all this other shit. And it's like, you still do less damage. Isn't that silly? So he has dropped Teostra's Master's Touch, and I promise you this build will still be one of the least damaging builds in the game in terms of end game meta setups, just because it's the Lance and no other reason. It's just the Lance. That makes me depressed. What do we have here, though? We have so close to getting the free meal secret, but of course you wouldn't want to use free meal secret. You wouldn't want to use free meal secret with the lance because it has one of the slower sheath times in the game, so you wouldn't even want to use it. Golden Loon Coil, Garuga Greaves, Ironside Charm. So overall, if you want my opinion, it's a nice looking build. I question you not going Master's Touch on the setup, but I'm betting that you had to drop it in order to take the Divine Blessing and the Offensive Guard together. So that's what I'm betting you had to do in order to afford those. And personally, I think that the Master's Touch might end up being a better option. I don't know if Divine Blessing makes perfect sense on the Lance when you're able to guard, but also it doesn't surprise me because despite having a shield, the Lance feels very dangerous to use. Like you die very fast because of the long sheath time and because of the slow walking speed. Geralt. What's Geralt got? Safi? Okay, he's still got paralysis. How about Apollo? Apollo with this Safi Shatter Spear. And the awakened abilities are all over the place. He's got 2 affinity, which is way more affinity than you ever need. In fact, in almost every case, you do not need the affinity increase on your abilities unless you are somebody who is so poor that you cannot afford Weakness Exploit. And even then, there's some pieces of armor that will give you Weakness Exploit. Sharpness increase 6. All right, but you're running Sharpness increase 6 despite the fact that you're also bringing Master's Touch. This is just, the awakened abilities make no sense on this one. What else do you have? So he's trying to run the Safijiva set with the Master's Touch set. So I got that, but health boost, recovery up, crit boost, power prolonger. Do the experts use power prolonger yet, guys? I don't know if they do. They still do the trick where they do red, white, and then they wait to the end of red, white, and they pick up orange, right? I don't think power prolonger is getting used yet. It's a different skill that's getting used, isn't the? It's the flinch free skill, right? I'm trying to remember. On the insect glaive. Blast attack. Recovery up doesn't really necessarily make a lot of sense either. There's the health regen. So you're pairing it with health regen, but why would you run health regen on a resentment Safi'jiiva build? Yeah, I don't know, man. I think this build is bad. Sorry, Apollo. Kura with the Safi Venom Spear, all poison. So this would be a great setup for... Okay, let's see if they're doing Protective Polish. Are they doing that? They are. So I'm seeing a lot of people do the Protective Polish, and I don't know if I agree with that. I know, I get it. You get like one little movement, and then you sharpened your weapon. He's doing that because he wants to pick up the Safi'jiiva set, though. I'll have to do more research. I don't know if that's actually meta. I would be surprised if that was meta, because Protective Polish really just does not last that long. But I've seen a few people take it, so we will have to do a little bit of research on that. It does not sound good. I tested Speed Sharpen Protective Polish at the release of Iceborne, and I was like, okay, we can make this work. And then over time, I'm like, no, this is bad. Master's Touch all the way. So you're losing Master's Touch, but you're picking up the Resentment. Wait, do you have Resentment? You don't even have Resentment. It doesn't make it. This is just like the other build. It doesn't make full sense to me. Why would you run... Has he got regen too? He's got health regen too. Why would you run... Why would you run the Safi'jiiva set without Resentment? Resentment's so good with the Safi'jiiva set. So you're confusing me. Wait, maybe that's the same person who had that kind of setup with the other thing. Maybe I'm just looking at the same person using a different weapon with a similar setup. Safi's Hell Claws. We've got fire damage. And what we're seeing here is all element damage up. Okay, I like that so far. But I'm not seeing... There it is again. Protective Polish and no Speed Sharpen either. So you can get away with having no Speed Sharpen with Protective Polish. What you would do is you would use the scales, right? So there's the scales that you have a limited quantity of to do the sharpening. You could do that. I don't know why you would do that though. We have Coalescence. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, Coalescence is terrific. Terrific for dual blades. So Coalescence is really good on dual blades. If you can fit it in reasonably, I would fit it in. Crit Element and Dragon Vein Awakening. I mean, it looks good. It's just that I don't know about that latent power. The crit ice not completed. I feel like the Protective Polish is not going to keep up, is going to actually lose, is going to end quickly. You don't have Speed Sharpen. I don't know if your original design of the build was to actually use the scales for sharpening. If you were just going to use the regular sharpening, that's terrible. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to say pass on that build. Bonfire Burger. Safi's Drac Crusher. So this is a dragon damage hammer, which right off the bat, that makes me uncomfortable because I'd much rather have blast or poison. But let's see what we got. Attack increase 5, slot upgrade 4, attack increase 5, affinity increase 5, sharpness increase 5. So that's all over the place, first of all. No Master's Touch. You've got Divine Blessing Secret. You're missing Crit Eye 7. Peak Performance. So you've prioritized skills like Peak Performance and Agitator before finishing off your Crit Eye, which I disagree with. And there's Recovery Up again. A lot of people bringing Recovery Up. I don't think that Recovery Up's that important, to be honest. There's the Airborne. Airborne makes sense. The build's just okay. Your biggest problem here is you're giving up so much damage by not making all of your Awakened abilities attack increase 5. You could do attack increase 5 times 4, and then the last skill be sharpness increase. Alright, so you're giving up a lot of damage by not having that. Alright, let's go ahead and create a new lobby. Whew. I'm seeing a lot of latent power. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of latent power. I take latent power when I know that my affinity's not at 100 and I can't fit more agitator or something on, but that's usually it. Kevin says the idea is to use Rocksteady and tank hits, proc latent power, and have a permanent 100% crit while dishing out massive elemental damage. With the hammer? I don't know if you're talking about with the hammer. The hammer does not deal high elemental damage. I mean, there's probably a case where if you could use nothing but the spinning aerial bludgeon, there's probably a case where the elemental damage will be pretty good, but that's it, and that's pretty rare. So you could have a dedicated spinning aerial bludgeon setup, but I would say that's about it. RV says, "Hey, Mister, no Pokemon live stream? It's not time for the Pokemon live stream." Bitch. No, I'm just kidding. James Dice says, "Can you show your own build?" Yeah, I will show the build I'm using real fast. This is a build I was experimenting with last time I was on the PlayStation. Let's go to change equipment and take a look at the sword first of all. So what you... Oh, no, that's terrible. Let's go to set decoration. Alright, so what you see here is we don't have any Master's Touch. So we've got Divine Blessing Secret and Super Recovery together instead. And what that means is we have one level of sharpness increase and we have the Val Soul Vein. And then for the health regen, we have health regen there. And then for the skills, what you see me running is health boost, recovery speed, recovery up, and on top of that, we have the Divine Blessing Secret. And basically what ends up happening is not only are you healing pretty large chunks with the Greatsword's well known for good healing, the recovery speed combined with the Val super recovery is actually ridiculously good, in my opinion. I've been testing that. And when you pair that with Divine Blessing Secret, you pretty much just don't die. It's really hard to die. And the last thing you could do is something like Defense Boost 7 if you give up Crit Eye, but I've been experimenting not having the Defense Boost on the setup. So it's something I've been screwing around with, and one of the interesting things here is with the Golden Loon Helm Alpha, you get 2 levels of Poison Attack for free. So there it is, Health Boost, Poison Attack. And that's one of the reasons why we're using the Poison Greatsword rather than the Blast Greatsword. And I was talking earlier about how you will want to have both Poison weapons and Blast weapons from Safajiva, specifically because you're going to have monsters who are immune to blast damage. And so in those cases, when it comes to raw weapons, you wouldn't use the Blast Safajiva weapons, you would use the Poison Safajiva weapons for optimal damage output. So this is definitely a defense build. This is not an offense build, it is a defense build. And I was just screwing around with ideas that I had learned from when we were doing that whole week of only defense builds. Here, we'll do a run together. Supposed to be looking at everyone's builds. No, you know what? Let's continue looking at people's builds. So you saw my build. This is the build. I harshly judge your builds live stream. Let's keep looking. There's going to be people who want to have their builds judged for the first time. Let's do it. Here we go. I'm going to keep going. I know I want to play, but we have all the time in the world to fight Safi Poopy. Let's keep judging people's builds. Here we go. We're going to start with Salmon Osuki. I don't know if I said that name right. Master rank 222, Spec Equipment. There's the Shatterfang. We got 2 levels of sharpness increase, which that's going to give you purple sharpness. And I see Teostra Technique there too. So he is going for a Master's Touch setup. And in my opinion, because you've taken the 2 levels of sharpness increase, when they could have actually been attack increase, you've already lost some damage. The purple sharpness, in my opinion, that small sliver of purple sharpness, it's not worth it, especially if in the middle of the fight you find that you lost it. So if even with Master's Touch active, you end up losing that purple sharpness, you end up having to sharpen anyways. So in my opinion, with a lot of these blast weapons, or with a lot of these raw damage weapons, don't even worry about the purple sharpness unless you're playing elemental. That's my opinion on a lot of them. Just stick with the white sharpness and pick up 2 more levels of attack increase. So that's the first thing I have to say. Then what do we have? Golden Headdress, Buff Chest, Kaiser Vambrace, Kaiser Coil, Garuga Greaves. So what you've done is you've given up another slot of attack increase on your Sword and Shield here. You've given it up for Teostra Technique, but you've only picked up the Golden Headdress, which is not like a huge improvement. I mean, it's an improvement, but it's not like huge. You see what I'm saying? So you should be able to fit Weakness Exploit on your build anyways, unless you're just missing Weakness Exploit decorations, which would be the exception. But if you've got the decorations, just drop the Teostra Technique and take another attack. Buff Chest, I was comparing that to, what was it? Buff Chest was getting compared to Brute Tigrix Chestplate. I still don't know which one I prefer. Probably the Brute Tigrix Chestplate. Kaiser Vambrace, that one's good. Kaiser Coil is good. Garuga Greaves is good. Attack Charm. you could take attack charm if you want, but it makes you question why not just bring the Tigrex chest. If you're going to go for attack boost, why not just bring the Tigrex chest and pick up some attack boost and weakness exploit there? And then you could use the charm for something else like agitator or whatever, right? Rocksteady glider is fine. Oops, I'm sorry, I wasn't done looking. Peak, he's got peak performance. If I were you, I would drop the attack charm, change the buff chest out to the Tigrex chest, and bring the peak performance charm. That's what I would do. And there's Master's Touch. Okay, so that build's okay, but I think that is not fully optimized. Izzy. Safi Dream Splitter. All right, so there is a sleep greatsword, and you could do that if you're playing solo because, nobody else is going to put the monster to sleep for you other than maybe your cat, but you can give your cat the paralysis weapon, so your cat paralyzes and you sleep. And what you do here is with the sleep damage you're dealing with your greatsword, when the monster goes to sleep, you use a powerful wake-up attack, and this is terrific for you as a greatsword player. You just deal a really high chunk of damage. So this is actually pretty legit, and if you're fighting Safajiva, you'll want to pick up a sleep greatsword, especially if you like to play by yourself. On these skills over here, I'm seeing pretty much the meta setup. We've got the Kaiser Crown. This is going to be for the focus. This is going to finish off the... this is basically going to finish off the Master's Touch and then the Garuga Greaves. So yeah, I would say this is a pretty standard good build. The 2 levels of sharpness increase is so that he would have purple sharpness without having to build handicraft, and then instead he has attack charm 4. So this is probably one of your standard setups you can go with if you're going to have attack charm, and alternatively he could have dropped 1 level of sharpness and taken sharpness increase 6 and a little bit of handicraft. That would have also brought him up to purple sharpness, so he could have done that alternatively and try to get the attack boost into his build differently, but I think this is fine actually. Yeah, seeing this is pretty decent looking. You need to get your crit eye to level 7 though. Hero. Another greatsword build. All attack increase all day, baby. Nice. And what do we got going on? Oh, very interesting. So he's got all attack increase, but he does not have Teostra's technique. He instead built handicraft charm. And he's got attack boost 7, crit eye, handicraft, health boost, crit boost, weakness exploit, focus, airborne, which is still useful on the greatsword, fortify, divine blessing, attack boost. Yeah, you could definitely build this. I'm questioning. I mean, if your goal is pure damage. If your goal is pure damage, would I change anything about this build? If your goal is pure damage, I would probably bring Master's Touch and drop the Handicraft Charm and bring probably Agitator is probably what I would do. Agitator and Peak Performance need to be on your build if you're trying to optimize it for damage output. Or rather than Agitator Charm, you would bring probably the Peak Performance Charm, and then you would put Agitator in the set using the Agitator 2 decorations. Or is it Agitator 4? Oh, it's the Agitator 4 decorations. I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong word. But otherwise, yeah, I like that one. I think that one's pretty decent. Here's Geralt. Here is Geralt. Let's see what he's got going on. So there's the Shelling 5. Or Artillery Secret 5, I mean. Your helmet doesn't make... Oh, it's a normal Shelling. I'm sorry. So he has 2 Affinity Increase 5 and Sharpness Increase. And then he has Artillery 5 Guard, Crit Eye 4, Tremor Resist, Health Boost, Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit, Evade Extender, Capacity Boost, Guard Up. Okay, so that is looking like an improved version of a normal Shelling build based on all the ones we've seen so far. Now my only question for you is why would you ever use normal Shelling in the first place? But yeah, that build at least makes a bit more sense. Your guard is 5. I think you could have gotten away with... I mean, no, there's nothing wrong with having guard 5, actually. Do you not have handicraft, though? I would be tempted to drop the guard 5 and pick up handicraft 5 instead, or handicraft 4, and then you would bring 2 levels of guard, and you would simply try to hop through the monster's attacks. So that would be an alternative route. But you can do it this way. Nothing wrong with having guard 5 on a gun lance. I mean, you're probably going to guard things either way. Sir B, Master Flex. Safi's Venom Fang. Okay, I'm liking it. He's got a little bit of sharpness down there. Let's see why. Okay, you can see that there's no Master's Touch. Here's what does bother me, though. He's got Hasten Recovery. So I know a thing or two about the mechanics of Hasten Recovery because I've seen some data mined information. And Hasten Recovery is mostly only useful on a hammer or a greatsword, maybe a hunting horn. because for weapons with the fast attack speed, you have to land many hits before it activates, before hasten recovery activates. That's going to be true for the sword and shield. So what I would do is go for a better, what am I trying to say, set bonus skill. Divine Blessing Secret could be one. There's a whole bunch, obviously, but Divine Blessing Secret is definitely one that you would consider. I'm trying to think of any others. Yeah, haste and recovery on a sword and shield just doesn't make that much sense. Let's take a look at the skills real fast. Attack boost, crit eye, agitator, health boost, crit boost, weakness exploit, peak, tool specialist, fortify, poison attack, coalescence, divine blessing. I mean, a lot of those are fine. I just think you're going to have trouble with losing your white sharpness at some point in the fight. You are going to lose your white sharpness without that master's touch, and you traded master's touch for haste and recovery, which is terrible. So I don't know. I don't think I agree with that. Who was that? I don't remember who that was we were looking at. Let's look at Haagen-Dazs. Soulfire Rasp Sticks. Huh. So is this one still being used? Because I know it has built-in spare shot. This would be Thunder... Where are the two? I'm trying to remember. It's Thunder Water. It doesn't do better than other... Wait. He's got Nargacuga helmet anyways. He didn't build... No, he just built it. He's got piercing shots too. What kind of build is this? This is a piercing shots build. Okay. Interesting. You have my interest. Pierce shot build where the weapon has innate spare shot. You didn't complete crit eye, but you took attack boost of 5. You've got wide range on a pierce build, but I guess that's fine as the light bowgun. You're not going to be able to build... Yeah, you're not going to really be able to build anything else of interest. This doesn't seem all the way done. Like, look, you're so close to Free Meal Secret. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything much better than another weapon. I would say take another look at that build. That build's not going to be really good at wide range, and it's not going to be really good at piercing shot either. Or not piercing shot, piercing ammo. You'll want to be building one way or the other to make sure that you're optimizing for either a wide range setup or a pierce ammo setup. Baby boy, Safi Shatteraxe. Alright, we've seen a few of these. There's Teostra Technique, attack increase, sharp increase, affinity increase, which I rarely agree with, and attack increase 5. And what do we have here? We have a Safi, and then 2 levels of Kaiser. Alright, I can see the reasoning behind this, because the Kaiser Master Rank helmet is not terrific. So you've gone with the Safi Jiva setup here instead. And what is this? This is for Switch Axe, right? Yeah, this is for Switch Axe. Crit Eye 4, Resentment 4, you'd want that to be 5 probably. Health boost, crit boost, weakness exploit, handicraft 3, agitator attack boost 2, you'd want that to be 4, or just... Where did it even come from? Maybe it's a decoration issue. What level is he? He's level 177, he might not have the decorations he needs. Fortify, Evade Window. Evade Window is kind of nice on the sword, not the sword and shield, Switch Axe. Yeah, I mean, this one's okay. I think you could honestly just drop the Safajiva set. I mean, I think the Safajiva set's probably helping you a little bit, but what you could do instead is drop that Safajiva crested crown, take the Kaiser helmet, then you drop Teostra Technique, take another attack increase, and then drop the Safajiva crested chest, take the Brute Tigrix chest and get your attack boost to 4, and then you can drop the Safi crested boots and turn that into Garuga Greaves, which is just ridiculous. They're so strong. Rocksteady Impact Mantle, huh? Okay, interesting. James Dice says, normal shelling is nice against weak monsters or monsters that don't move much. You do high damage, and shredding the monster after afar like your sharpness. Oh, I see. Okay. Styx has Pierce 2 on recoil 1 clip 5 if I'm not wrong. Okay, very interesting. I would still tell him to probably drop the wide range on that build, and I'm curious to know if Styx has the best Pierce shot on it for light bowguns, or if the new Safajiva weapons are holding top slot for that. Alright, so we're out of time. I'm going to quickly go through the last couple of these. We're out of time. We're at the 2-hour mark. So we have Chris with the Safi Shatter Crusher. Overall, looking pretty clean. I like it. No Master's Touch, but that's okay. Large white sharpness. Samonosuke with Safi's Shatter Splitter. Lots of sharpness there, which means you gave up attack increase. And what do we have here? Crit Eye, Agitator, Stun Resist, Health Boost, Crit Boost, Weakness Exploit, Peak, Focus, Fortify. Let me give you a tip on Stun Resist. You only need one level of it these days. Here's Izzy. Safi Drakbo, Silver Rathalos Essence again, because he wanted Garuga Greaves and the Kieran Jacket. All Elemental up. Crit Eye, Dragon Attack, Health Boost, Weakness Exploit. He's got Health Boost on a bow, guys. Weakness Exploit, Silver Slinger Capacity, Constitution 2. Any Stamp? No Stamp Surge. So what was that fan saying? He was saying Constitution 2, Stamp Surge 1. There's spread shots, but I do not see normal shot. It's missing normal shot, right? So no normal shot. I don't know how important normal shot is, but I feel like it's pretty important. Safi Drak Claws again. Let's see. Velkhana Divinity. Why would he have Velkhana? Oh, for the crit element. Duh. All right, and I feel like we've already seen this build. I do like the Coalescence on the dual blades. 2D. Safi Aqua Shot. All attack increase. Nargacuga Essence. Water attack artillery. What is going on? You don't even have health boost. Tobias. Defense increase 5. I was using that myself earlier. It only gives you like 50 more defense, which, you know, I guess if you're pairing that with Fortify and defense boost is interesting, but I don't really think it's that good overall, though. It was something I just had to try it. I was experimenting, but I don't recommend it now that we've had our fun week with all the defense. There we go. Defense boost 7. All right, he is pairing it with defense boost 7. Part Breaker, it doesn't even add that much, right? But it adds a few points. Hero, Safi's Aqua Shot again. And that's going to be a build where he tries to get lots of damage on the stickies. We got Geralt with Safi Bolt Claws. Sharpness increase. Thunder Attack, Windproof. So, if you're going... Yeah, I'm not an expert on the dual blades, and we're going fast, so I'm not going to say too much. I'll show you a build off those. Safi's Venom Crusher. All attack increase. But no Master's Touch. You need the Master's Touch. If you're not going to build one Sharpness, you're either going to have to build a Sharpness or you need the Master's Touch, one or the other. Building the Master's Touch will make you lose your attack increase 5 for one of your slots, but it will keep you in the white Sharpness for much longer. Blue Sharpness is bad, guys. You can handle purple and white Sharpness. Blue Sharpness you do not want to have. Safi's Bolt Bow. Elemental up. Attack affinity increase. Interesting. Affinity increase on a bow, huh? Status Coating. Okay. Adds a lot of Constitution and Stamp Surge. I'm sure that is probably too much. Bow Charge Plus, Spread Shot, Normal Shot, Crit Boost, Crit Eye, Thunder Attack. No health boost, huh? That's a little dangerous, but that's okay. KC with Luna y Ostra, which is totally outclassed now, with Kaiser Y, Wrath Heartmail, Fan Braces, Kaiser, Wrath Heart Greaves. Alright, so this is like a beginner build. I would make sure that your health boost is at 3. You don't need Tool Specialist at 3. You even don't need Artillery at 3. If this is like a beginner build, health boost 3 should be default. You're like Master Rank 448. Why are you running... Safi Shatter Spear. One level of the affinity increase. Why are you doing that? Didn't have enough Dracolite? Let's see. And my eyes are getting tired of reading all this stuff. So he's doing one of the things I do all the time. I run the Kieran Jacket in the empty slot rather than the Brute Tigrix, because I actually honestly don't care about attack boost 4, and I do care about having the extra Crit Eye and the Divine Blessing, because it leaves up room for other places in my build. Neko. Adept Stormslinger. It's exclusive to PlayStation, so I don't care about it. And we are done, folks. Let's go ahead and get the wave. Woo! That was me talking about builds for 2 hours, harshly judging you. If you had fun, let me know. What did I see that I enjoyed from this session? Well, I saw some people running Speed Sharpen Protective Polish with the Safajiva set rather than Master's Touch. I have a strong suspicion that's not a good idea. It might work on some elemental builds, like with the dual blades, but I would not do it on a raw damage build. I saw a new Pierce build that I have never seen before, with the Kadashi, which I agree with the weapon choice, although he had the Kadashi rather than a Safajiva heavy bowgun. I wonder if it's the case that there's no superior Safajiva weapon to be using in that case, but he had 3 pieces of Safi and 2 pieces of, Rei Jang, so I thought that was pretty entertaining. Did I see anything else? I realized how bad I am at dual blades and bows. I really don't understand the builds, so I'm pretty lost on those. What was the most common mistake that we saw, everyone? I think the most common mistake we were seeing were people who were not awakening their weapons in a very smart way. You saw a lot of affinity awakenings that are really bad. You do not want you do not want affinity awakenings because there's so many easy ways to build affinity with Crit Eye, Weakness Exploit, Agitator, even a little bit of Latent Power helps. Attack Boost 4 helps. There's so many ways to build affinity. You can even augment for affinity. So using your awakened slots for affinity doesn't really make sense to me. We saw some awakened abilities were being given up for like decoration slots. I don't necessarily think that's very good either. Not a lot of good Insect Glaive builds, I felt. So maybe we should do some educational videos on the Insect Glaive soon. By the way, I put out my Charge Blade guide. It basically is just me talking impromptu about the Charge Blade moveset. And I go into pretty big depth. It's like 30 minutes long, so feel free to check that out. That would be my latest video I posted. And I think now it is time to open some Pokemon cards. I'm going to head over to my second YouTube channel and open up some Pokemon cards. I'll leave this live stream open, and then what I'll do is I'll come back and post the link to the other live stream. I'll see you guys there in about 10 minutes. Oh, oops. Oh, I did unmute it. All right, everyone. I have the link to my card stream. Let me go grab it. It's taking a little break there, actually. I should definitely be taking breaks in between streams. I don't know why I don't. Because I'm crazy. Jump over here. 8,000 people already watched that Charge Blade guide. Can you believe it? So let's see. We're looking for Pokemon card live stream. Okay. And it's not showing up. It's not showing up. Let's try looking for the Card-Economist. And it's still not show. Oh, I didn't hit the, Wait. Yeah, I did. Weird. Weird, it's not showing up. I did that right over there, right? Yeah, weird, it's just not showing up. No live stream. Wait, I didn't post it under my own name, did I? Oh, I better not have posted it under... Hold on, let's try that. No, I didn't. Weird. You know, YouTube has been sucking the last few days. And I cannot find a link to my card live stream. Let me try switching over. Well, no. It's not showing up. What? Is acting like I never made the live stream. Oh, there it is. Wow. I think that YouTube was just taking its sweet time actually posting the live stream to its channel, to its website. And I think that YouTube has been sucking it up pretty bad lately. I don't think they've been very good. Alright, here's the link to the live stream. Thanks for waiting, guys. Sorry about the wait. We'll be over there opening up some Pokemans. Okay, and now I can wish you guys adieu. I'm going to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.